Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of World Cup Nightly. It is me, Jason Gooner, and we're back in the studio, the place where football lives. Yes, people, Jason Gooner TV, we are back again. No games tonight. It feels kind of strange to do a World Cup Nightly and no games now going. But, of course, there was one fixture in the round of 32 today. Canada outlasting South Africa today 1-0. Shouldn't really say outlast. Canada should have probably had this game sewn up long before the goal in injury time from Stefan Eustáquio, but not clinical enough on the day, not making enough right decisions in the final third. But we're going to talk about that game. Plus, we're going to preview the entire round of 32. We're going to start off with the 3 games tomorrow and work our way through the fixtures. We're going to predict every single match in the round of 32 tonight. Of course, we'll be back more than likely. The World Cup nightly is going to be a little tougher to be done because we're going to have knockout matches to be played each and every night. I'll probably be bringing you the last game of each night going through the round of 32. The daytime games is going to be tough. Bless me for me to stream. So um, I'll be doing the game tomorrow night. Of course, Dutch taking on Morocco. Oof, can't wait for that one. Should be one of the better games of the round of 32 for sure. I think all of them will be good, have their own storylines, but definitely when you look at two teams that are probably pretty even in terms of ranking, in terms of quality, Morocco and Netherlands should be a very, very, very good matchup. But we're gonna break it all down, probably do the ones tomorrow in a bit more detail than the games that are coming up. But we are going to go ahead and go through all of the predictions tonight on this show. So there's a lot of football to get through. Definitely, you guys know how my show is. We're going to drop the World Cup nightly is a bit different from some of the other shows I'm run, in the sense that I drop the link in the comment section if people want to jump on the show. Definitely, you can do that on a program like this tonight. All right, people. So make sure that you guys are hitting the like button. That's the main thing. Definitely, that's the best way to show your support. Just smash up that like button and just make sure that you guys are doing that for me. All right, people. Um, yeah. So we're gonna talk first and foremost about the game today. First of all, did you guys get to watch the game? What you thought of the game? Canada, of course, we know they were a bit upset with the fact that they weren't able to um, host this match, but the tournament was set up so that if they won their group, they would have been able to host this match, but that didn't happen. So they had to travel to SoFi actually and play this game in Cali. But they did emerge victorious. They just took a very, very long time for that to happen. But I think a few things happened in the game that might actually work out in Canada's favor moving forward. So let's just take a look at the game in total first. The statistics wise, 58% possession in favor of South Africa, 42 to Canada. And I think that stat in itself, it almost feels a bit misleading. If you watch this game, South Africa, as you can see, had more of the ball, more possession, but it was not threatening possession. It was possession in the middle third, in their defensive third. It wasn't until I'd say pretty late in the game where South Africa looked like they might actually get a sniff of goal, and even then, it was never any sustained time period. So Canada definitely had the domination of the game in terms of the territory, in terms of the chances. You can see there with the expected goals, 1.38 to just 0.14. 4 big chances for Canada, none on the day for South Africa. Canada had 12 shots to 6 from South Africa. Williams was busy in goal with 5 saves. 1 save was made by Crepeau, and that one honestly looked like it might have been creeping wide that he made the save on. Yellow cards, 2 went to Canada, so that's something to look out for. Of course, the yellow cards are wiped out, but I believe 2 in the knockout phase, and you have to miss 1. So we'll take a look and see which one of those players are at risk for the next game that they're going to play. Of course, you know that this bracket, the way it's set up, the winner of the Netherlands-Morocco game will actually face Canada in that next knockout fixture. And that will be actually in Monterrey, which is Actually, no, the game tomorrow is in Monterrey. I'll have to check and see where that game is. I want to say NRG Stadium in Houston, but I'll double check that. 7 shots on target for Canada, just the 1 shot on target for South Africa that forced the save. And again, that was a bit lenient, if you ask me. 43% of the game played in the middle third, and 41% of it played in South Africa's defensive third. A lot of that really was possession from South Africa, passing it around in their defensive third. Interestingly, Canada didn't necessarily totally press them all the way. I mean, they kind of let the 2 center backs somewhat have a little bit of time, and once they really pushed up the field, it was really Williams going direct long. And I think we're going to see on the long passes of the game that there are probably a lot of those in this game. South Africa had almost 200 more accurate passes, but again, a lot of those passes not really hurting the opponent. 62 final third entries to 57. And really and truly, those entries, I don't know, man. It's like it was a lot of direct play into the final third, and they were trying to win the second ball. See, they went long 72 times, right, to only 31 for Canada. So that just shows the difference in how they were going about attacking in the game. Duels pretty even on the day, so both teams battled it out. Canada, the big problem for them today was the missed chances. They had 4 big chances in the game, and they missed all 4. Eustáquio coming up late with that goal in injury time, the 90+2. So yeah, Canada dominant in terms of the type of possession they had, in terms of the chances, but against a better team, you can't leave so much food on the table. You have to finish your dinner, and they weren't able to do that in this game at all. I think South Africa, look, Williams had a big day, a lot of saves. I thought Mbakazi was really good. I thought Okan was good. I thought the whole back line honestly was pretty good. Modiba, Mudau, they were always, good in the game. I thought Mokoena had probably his poorest game of the tournament. And that could be overuse. I mean, he did play pretty much every minute of every game. Sitol was much better. Maybe that red card and getting that 1 game off maybe helped him to have the legs to have that type of performance. I thought he persisted with a Palace all day, and for good reason. He seems to be like one of the more threatening players, but sometimes you may not have it on the day. And I think maybe Bros was hoping they could get to extra time, and he probably would have shuffled the deck a little bit more, but it wasn't to be. They conceded late. I thought that Marsh was pretty proactive with his subs. Bambito, I'm sure he would have loved to have him keep playing, but probably on some kind of restriction with the minutes. So the Fajaral came, and I thought he was solid. I think definitely him, playing some minutes in his World Cup already probably helped him out today. In midfield, they're a bit lighter because they don't have Kone. So when Saliba tired in this game today, he was on a yellow card as well, which probably was a part of the thinking of the coach as well, just to make sure that, let's not even chance it. Going down to 10, he brought in Seeger for him, who is probably more comfortable playing as a right back, but of course, Alistair Johnson is out there, so not really gonna see him playing much out there in at this current moment. But he's technical enough to play midfield. He went in there and it wasn't perfect. Got a yellow card as well, so that's going to be something interesting moving forward when those midfielders get tired. He has Osorio there, who we didn't go to today, and Chanier we didn't bring on today either. He went with Seeger in that midfield, which I thought was pretty interesting based on the roster and what I know of it. For him to choose Seeger to come on in midfield was a bit telling. I was a bit surprised actually that he went with Millar and Buchanan. I figured Buchanan would start, but I thought more than likely it would have been actually Ali Ahmed on that left-hand side. But he didn't go with Ali Ahmed, didn't even get a game today. So that's interesting. And I wonder if that was something tactical he saw with South Africa. He wanted to play a certain type of player. I'm not sure, but Ali Ahmed has looked pretty decent in this World Cup so far. So I was a bit surprised by that. And the fact that he didn't get a game at all was even more surprising. Kyle Larin as well, probably the name that everybody would be thinking, how did he not play? Promise David was chosen to come on for Tani when he got tired. And to be totally honest, Jonathan David probably was on the pitch because his name is Jonathan David. It couldn't have been for his performance because he was poor today. Um, just didn't really have it today, basically. Made one key pass, couple defensive contributions, but just not involved in the game enough. 2 shots, 1 on target. Didn't miss any of those 4 big chances, but definitely, wasn't a threat in the game. I think Tani was much more dangerous. He did miss a big chance himself, but he was pretty dangerous on the day. Millar never really worked out for him fully. I thought when Schaffelberg came on, he to me just looked a little bit more threatening, but we'll see what the coach does in the next game if he goes back with Liam Millar again. The whole city man, got promoted to the Prem, so should be a big season ahead for him. Tejan Buchanan lasted 75 minutes, and when he came off, it was Alfonso Davies that came on, which is the first time we're seeing him in this World Cup. And while you could see the rust there, I think it did give the team, somewhat of a little mental boost. And it's going to be interesting moving forward how much they can use him. He came on the 75th. Now, this game didn't go to extra time, but I was wondering, was the substitution kind of held off that late just because Marsh probably knew this could go potentially to extra time, and I don't want to have him come on too early, and then it turns into almost a full 90 minutes. So that 15 minutes plus the 30 would have added up to, basically a half of football, which is probably the limit of what he wanted to play in today. So I think that sub in the 75th minute was a bit strategic, just in case, the game did end in a gridlock and they had to play that extra time. That would be what? If he came out at halftime, that's 45 plus another 30, that's almost 90 minutes. So don't think he would probably was up for that. And I think getting this time on the field will probably do them good moving forward, because the temptation is going to be there as they get, basically to the next game. If it's at 50 something, 55, 60 minutes and it's not a good situation for Canada, you're going to want to bring him in. So the fact that they got 15 minutes out of him today is probably a real good plus for them. And again, when Tani came off in the 78th minute, the choice wasn't Kyle Larin, it was actually Promise David. So that's an interesting one. He started off the tournament benching Larin, came on to score, get that draw in the first game. Then the second game he starts, him and David do well. Last group game he starts again. I think, wait, did he start again? Let me see. I know he benched the first game. Came on, got a goal. Started, got a goal. Started, came off in the 58th minute. Yeah, so he started the next 2, and then today he's benched and doesn't get any minutes. So it's a weird one. But maybe it was something tactical that he saw in their defense and he thought that the other attackers would cause more problems. Maybe. It's strange. I mean, him scored basically 2 goals in the tournament already, and don't get to see the pitch today. So it is what it is. But South Africa, they should be proud of themselves. I think after some of the results in the lead up to the tournament, I think they drew with Nicaragua, they drew with Jamaica. It wasn't looking the best for them going into the tournament, and then that performance against Mexico, barring like the last 15 minutes of that game, they were really, really poor. They bounced back, they got a point, and then they ended up winning their last game. So yeah, big up to South Africa. They were able to get out of the group, and sad for them and for the South African fans, their road ends at the round of 32. But like I said, they should hold their heads high. They got out to the group stage, I think for the first time in their history. And yeah, they just came up against a team that was just better than them. They did hold possession pretty well, but like I said, not enough threatening possession, not enough vertical threat. I thought, Bambito and Cornelius are great athletes, but Bambito is coming off injury. I'd love to see him tested some more. I think Makopa is more of a big target striker, and maybe, I get why he played because they were playing so direct from the goalkeeper. But would have loved to have seen maybe a bit of a quicker guy up front, even though Reyners came on and offered that. But Reyners seemed to be drifting everywhere, wide everywhere. So I don't know, man. They just didn't have enough to get over the line, and Canada is just a better team than them. That's really all it boils down to. And they just didn't ask Canada enough questions defensively to really deserve to get through in this game. Canada was the team that was the aggressors, and they did a really good job as well. Limited South Africa from, they didn't really get much. 0.14 expected goals is, very, very low in a game. So you have to give them credit. Big up Jagans, what go on? Jagans, a very entertaining game today. SA really impressed. Just a mental defensive lapse that led to that goal. Look, I think that mental lapse thing happens when you're a little fatigued. The mind, maybe isn't moving as sharp because you're a little tired, and it just was avalanche and wave after wave at that point in the game. So, South Africa towards the end of the game looked like, hey, they might nick something, but again, it just never materialized into anything concrete, anything big that they had to worry about. And I think as the spaces got a bit bigger in the second half, you could see like Schaffelberg had so much time to just dribble down the right and cross the ball. And yes, the clearance isn't the best, but like I said, the mental fatigue, the actual fatigue, it's setting in right there. And you have to give credit to Eustáquio. He put it on target, put it in a good spot. And I think Williams, because anything that was close to Williams, he was going to save. He was looking possessed today, but that strike was just too good. And yeah, Canada advanced to the round of 16. So everybody was a bit nervous for Canada, seeing that they couldn't play their round of 32 game at home. But credit to the Canada fans. I saw a lot of red in the stadium, so they did make the trip. And yeah, CONCACAF team marches on, knocking out an African team. So Africa, probably the biggest success story at the group stage. 9 out of the 10 participants that came from that region did qualify, but only 3 out of the 6 from CONCACAF made it through, but one of those 3 did go on to the round of 16. So win for CONCACAF, win for Canada today. So that is the only game of these round of 32 fixtures that we won't do in the predictions, right? So we're gonna do the other 15 matchups, and like I said, we're gonna work our way through, starting with the games tomorrow. So the first game tomorrow is Brazil versus Japan. And folks, I don't know if based on these round of 32 matchups, the only game to me that comes close to this one would be Netherlands versus Morocco. In terms of just strength of the teams and how close I think the matchup is. Now, world rankings wise, Netherlands, Morocco is closer, right? But at the same time, Japan 18, Brazil 6. And I really think that 18 is probably closer to like 11 or 12 personally. But it is the rankings, there's the point system, and that's where they are right now. I can tell you this though, if they do pull the upset off, with it being a knockout World Cup match, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna have quite a leap in those rankings. But this one will be from Houston in NRG, and the referee tomorrow will be Maurizio Mariani from Italy. So hopefully that referee doesn't play any favorites. I know Italy and Brazil have a bit of a history, but hopefully no madness going on. These are just the possible lineups. They are not the lineups, people. I don't have a crystal ball and I don't have the inside scoop on these, but this is what they think could happen. I agree with their back line for Brazil and the goalkeeper. I think that has no reason to change. Magalhaes and Marquinhos proving to be a good partnership. I think, you know, Magalhaes does well when he's playing with maybe a calmer head, one that doesn't maybe, fly into challenges as much, very competent on the ball. So Marquinhos and Saliba are kind of, um, Saliba's a more a bigger defender, more imposing defender, but Marquinhos, I think, has similar traits in the sense of reading the game and things of that nature. So I think that's a good compliment to Gabriel and his style. Douglas Santos has been holding on the left back position. I think it's his and his only. Honestly, I don't think Alexandro was brought to this tournament to be a 90-minute player. I think Douglas Santos always going to have that responsibility. Danilo, I was worried about those two positions in this World Cup, and Danilo has actually been better than I thought he would be. Still extremely energetic at his age. I think Danilo is what, like 36 now. Yeah, 34 now, but he keeps himself in really good condition, playing for Flamengo now in Brazil, and he looks better than I was giving him credit for. I will say that. But I think the true test comes tomorrow with the way how Japan is going to attack this game, the way how they attack as well. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But let's just go through the possible lineups here. The midfield, Ancelotti has shown a liking to this midfield three. I would be surprised actually if he doesn't go back to it. The only thing that I think could be up in the air and a possibility, I know that Rafinha is still not good enough to play in terms of fitness, but I think Cunha and Vinicius will keep their places. I think the way how Cunha has been playing that role has been helpful to Brazil. Playing a lot in the pockets, kind of helping out as an extra midfielder. And Ryan and Vinicius staying a bit higher in the formation. Now, I think Martinelli has impressed the coach. I think that's why he saw him come on, get a start in the game. Not get a start, come on in every game after the first one. But I don't think he's in the pecking order to start. I think he probably likes him as a change-up option. Second half, defense a little more tired, can really hurt them with that pace. So the only sub that I think would be possible is if Ryan doesn't start, which I think he will, maybe Luis Enrique, because they're kind of similar type players. Maybe he thinks tactically he can do a similar job. I think Ryan has a bit more all-around game to him, so he looks more comfortable tracking back. Looks like a bit better presser. Bournemouth, one of the best pressing teams in the English Premier League. Ryan was a big part of that one from the minute he got there. So I think the way they're playing right now, the system and the style I see them wanting to play, I think Ryan and Vinny make the most sense as those two that kind of stay pretty much on the defense's backline or on the opponent's backline. So yeah, Brazil actually think that SofaScore might have this right. I don't see the need. I think Ancelotti is trying to build into these knockout stages, and I think he kind of stumbled upon this mixture of players, and I think he's going to stick with it until it doesn't look good enough. Now Japan is a much harder team, I think, to predict the lineup for, because there's so much interchanging of the players. I do think that Kamara will start in midfield. I think he's one of the ones that the coach is like, yo, this man have to be on the field. The back line, good luck picking that. I think Ito, you could say possibly yes. But there's other people that could play as well. Tamayasu, Taniguchi is what got chosen here. Don't be surprised if it's just one out of these three guys start, and it's going to be interesting. They have them down for a 3-5-2 here. They've been playing some 3-4-2-1, some 3-4-3. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting what they think will work best against this Brazil team in terms of formation. One thing's for sure, they're gonna keep their style. They're gonna pass the ball around. They're gonna have good slick movement. And when they get it right, it can look absolutely beautiful. If you remember, one of my favorite goals of this tournament so far, it wasn't that worldly in terms of the end product and the shot. But people, this goal that Japan scored in this game, that Maeda scored running through, what a brilliant goal that was. It was maybe 4 passes in a row but the way how they manipulated the space to get that final pass and the angle for that final pass, it was brilliant. Don, who ended up playing the through pass in the end, his starting position was well wide. And in the passing sequence, he ended up basically like in a number 10 position. And then the player who's meant to be playing the same role as him on the left side, literally made a run diagonally to the vacated space that the number 9 or false 9 in this particular build-up left for the third man runner, and it was just perfect. The timing, the movement, it was just a brilliant goal. So for me, somebody that loved passing combinations and moving and stuff, like that goal was top tier to me. And I think that's a part of why I believe that Japan have a really good chance in this game. I think with Brazil, you have to really make sure that you kind of make them do some work. And I think in the first game, that's what Morocco did really well. I don't think this version of Brazil is going to just have a chokehold on the game the entire time, right? And so in those moments, in those spells, when you have the upper hand, you have to make sure you strike. And I think that's what Morocco did really well in that first game. Saibari got in on goal. It was a one chance. He made sure to score it. I think against this Brazil team, you're going to want to have to do that. I think if they get into a rhythm and they get the first goal, it could put a strain on Japan and what they want to do. But I think if Japan stick to their core principles and play the football how they can, I don't see this game being any kind of game that Brazil can just run away with. I think it's going to be really close. I think whoever wins, it could actually go the distance in terms of even extra time. But I don't see it being a beatdown either way, right? And I know most people will probably be saying Brazil to take this one, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like I've done some polling already among some folks that I know, and it wasn't split down the middle, but there were more Japan picks than I thought I would get. So it's going to be interesting as we go through these games. Because I'm going to ask you guys here in the comment section tonight to chime in with your picks, and you can give your scores if you'd like. But honestly, the way I'm compiling everything, just tell me the country you think is going to advance. Because when you have the extra time and the penalty kicks and all that, how do you predict the penalty kick score? And it is what it is. I don't want anybody to pick any draws, so just say, just pick your country between the two and tell me who you think will advance. Big up Dre anyway. Hope all is well, my G. If you're on the road, I hope you are safe. Yeah, man, big up yourself, Dre. One Argentina, you're saying? No worry, man. Dutch Masters. JG, you're right. The clearance should have made it to the side instead of the front of the goal. Yeah, it should have. It should have. I think, and the thing is, Jagans, that same cross, they probably cleared, I don't know, 20 times in a game, and none of them fell right there at the top of the box. So mental fatigue itself, it is what it is. So Demo don't waste no time. Demo said Japan easily. No hesitation. Jaja. All right, so Demo is in for Japan. Yeah, man, and while I'm talking about the game, you guys can just drop it in the comment section. Yo, Swamptivity, what go on, my G? Look a while I'm gonna see you, bro. Who may I bring? The Dutch Masters, man. Orange, Netherlands. From time. Never switch, never change. Yeah, man. If I'm a yard player, Netherlands, bro. Japan, easily. Big up yourself, Demo J, in the building. Hope all is well with you. Hope everything's safe. All right, so Japan, as I say, harder team to predict, but I think about 6-7 of these names will probably start. I think Don had the captain's armband the last time out when I forget the player that had to come off the captain. But Nakamura has had a really, really good World Cup. Look for him to be a constant threat down the left. And to me, that's the key to this whole game. That wing area, when Japan get into those overloads, because Japan have a tendency to literally have all 4 or 5 man in one little zone. And the intricacies and the movements and the interchange can really spin around players. So I think it's going to be crucial that Japan keep Danilo and Douglas Santos kind of back. And I think the way they do that is in their passing game and their system to try to isolate them, get through that side a few times and then influence other Brazilian players to, get a little closer to Danilo and help him. And I think once they do that, what they do really well is they literally set you up to think you have to cover the flanks, and then they make those third man runs into areas that now have much more space to play the pass through. So look for them to try to, get Casemiro, get Bruno, get Lucas to inch closer and closer to their wing backs and just soften up those little pockets of space where Kamada, Tanaka, even Ueda will drop off the front line and get into those pockets. That literally, their manipulation of the other team and how they move them around, I'm telling you, watch back the goal against Sweden that they scored, bro. It was such a good goal. It was such a good goal. How they manipulated the defense to have that lane in the end to play that pass. Because it was such a simple pass, you have to think to yourself, why don't every team just do that? But it was the coordination of all them passes before that made that space available, bro. It was beautiful. God said, Brazil, big up God. So yeah, man, everybody who want put them BD, I'm gonna tally up all of them, so it's now or never. So God said, one Brazil. Jagan said, Brazil. Hopeful. Big back telly, you don't know. Said Brazil. My daughter don't know nothing about the big back telly. And she built it. All right, so that is my little thing now. Brazil, I'm just talk about all the ways Japan can hurt Brazil. Now, for me, remember, Japan basically got most of their technical training from Brazil or Brazilians and the Brazilian way and the Brazilian philosophy. So, is there a chance that Japan show too much reverence to Brazil in this game? I think that those days are probably over, to be honest. I think that these players that play for Japan now are, well versed in the game now enough to not feel inferior to even a Brazil team. And I think they'll know if they play their best game, they'll definitely be in the game. But I think at the end of the day, Brazil do have match winners in their ranks, right? I think Vinicius Jr., because of Messi, because of MBAPPE, because of all the others, is probably still not getting the credit that he probably deserve. I think it must be said how much more effective he is now compared to like 2, 3, 4 years ago. Always had the talent, always could beat players, but I think the end product is what has really, really changed. And I think what you saw last year at Madrid, even though he had a good season still, I think Vinicius is one of them players where if the environment is right, he'll probably give you everything you would want, especially now, because I think he now understands how to do it. I think at one point, maybe he was still figuring out how to do it. I think he knows now, kind of understands what he does well, what he can do, what he can't do. And I think with Ancelotti being the coach, I feel like even though he has never gone through a World Cup and things like that, I think his knowledge and just his ability to probably just get the team to a certain level of understanding of what they want to do, right? And also Ancelotti is famous for creating ways to play for his stars to shine. And that's really what you're seeing with this Brazil team. All the players who you would expect to be playing really well are Magalhães and Marquinhos, Vini Jr., Cunha, Guimaraes, Casemiro. They're all performing. Casemiro had a rough time in one of the games, but since then has been solid. Magalhaes and Marquinhos from day one have been good. Alisson has been good. So the spine of the team is looking good. They're getting the goods from Vinicius Jr. I don't think they have had a performance yet where people say, wow, they really can go all the way. Who knows? Is the Rona 32 performance it? I think Japan is the type of team that could bring a performance like that out of you. If you have what it takes to win, it's probably going to take a really good performance to beat them. So look, I'm basing this pick somewhat on just World Cup pedigree and know-how. I just feel like the Brazilian team in a tight game is going to find the moments that they need to win it. I think it's a really good game, though. I think it's a game where Brazil is on the ropes at times. But I think the quality that they possess in the attacking third in the end will come good. And I think, while I do like that Japan have a lot of interchangeable pieces, I just think that the big stars of Brazil will probably just do just enough more to get them over the line. But I think it will be one of the better games at around 32. I think both teams get goals. And I think that Brazil just eke it out over them with that little bit more, quality. Not necessarily as a team, but individually. I think some individual brilliance just give them a couple more moments, and that's what gives them the win. So I'm gonna go with Brazil, but it's really, really close, and I really love how Japan play and their style. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Grizzle up full. Grizzle probably tell me who I go win what. Blessings, blessings. More of team coordination going on. Vinny choke the flow of the ball game at times. I've actually thought he's done a good job of not overdoing it this World Cup. Like, sometimes Vinny, I used to call Vinny the blind alley baller. He will go on a run, but like at the end of it, he has no intentions. He doesn't know what's next. Right. So he'll run, he'll beat everybody, he'll get to the corner flag, and it's like, oh damn, I have to beat this guy again because I didn't have nowhere to go when I beat him the first time. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's done that a lot less lately. I think, like I said, at times it looked like to me he was still figuring out how him should do what him doing. And I think he's actually improved that a lot in like the last couple seasons. So that's why, and I think that's why he's looking better for Brazil now, because I think he kind of is letting it off when he's supposed to, not over dribbling and doing too much. I don't know. I think you have to kind of live with it at the same time, because that's a part of his game. Like he's gonna take touches on the ball and beat players. So you can't have a man that have a skill set to do something and then beat him when him do it, and everything don't come off. I mean, you have to give him that freedom and license to do it because he opens the game up with those runs sometimes. You know what I mean? But I get your point same way. Not I don't see that because that does happen sometimes. But people, Brazil or Japan, drop it in the comment section. I'll add you to the board. The next game we're gonna talk about, people, is the 4:30. I believe it's 4:30 my time kickoff tomorrow. And that is, where is it? Germany and Paraguay from Gillette Stadium in Boston. This is gonna be an interesting one because Paraguay, they kind of like, I don't even know what to call it, but when you look at their group stage, right? They had that beatdown of USA that had everyone thinking USA might actually win the World Cup. Then in their second game, Paraguay had that controversial game where we had the first ever sending off for covering the mouth and speaking to an opponent, and that was Miguel Almiron. So he served his ban, which was served against Australia, and that game was a dull 0-0 draw. Paraguay showed their defensive prowess in that game, honestly, because Australia looked like the team that was, trying to get the goal, or more likely to get the goal. But I think the big result was really the Turkey game. Down to 10 men. I think Almiron got that red card in like the 40-something minute or 48 minute. Yeah, first half injury time. So they played the whole second half basically with 10 men. And to be fair, Turkey peppered them. They were all over them. But I mean, you have to give credit to the back line. Gomez, Alderete, Alonso, Caceres, these guys blocked everything. Gil was solid in goal, claiming crosses. So the way I see it, if you have a defense like this, and there's going to be more teams like this in this round of 32, where you have to just give them a chance because they're that good defensively, they kind of stay in the game. Germany, I think Germany is interesting because they beat up on Curacao first. They had a good win against Cote d'Ivoire, and this game, for long stretches, looked like it could have gone another way. But they got the job done. They came back in the second half and stepped it up actually to get that win. And then Ecuador and Germany, I don't know, man. They were a bit, I don't know, lackluster. They definitely were out hustled by Ecuador, and that's that can happen because Ecuador is an extremely fit team, an athletic team. But I don't know, man. Germany just didn't have the fight that you would expect in a final group stage game. That maybe the thing was, look, we are pretty much good to go. We beat Ivory Coast. Ecuador can't catch us. So even if we end on the same points as Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire, it doesn't matter. They will be behind us based on the head-to-head. So, maybe I'm reading too deep into that performance against Ecuador now that I think about it, because they were good to go and clean through. And I didn't really take stripes away from USA for their loss in the last game for the same reason. So, RR says the Germans will win 3-0. Apache giving me Brazil 2-1. So Brazil to advance. Yep, Canada gone through. I just gave them their flowers before you got here. Literally told them. All right, we have somebody black stage. I have a feeling I know who this is, but it's a person with about 1 million alias. State your name for the masses.
Hello, good afternoon. This is JD, the original.
What?
I'm actually football. I realized that it's 5:24 and JC is still streaming on the internet, but I'm listening close and he's getting a lot of things correct. So I'm here just giving him his flowers. Yes, so hope that the orange Aranya give you the satisfaction that they deserve because you've always supported them. And I've actually doubted them at first, but that beating that they put down on Sweden, I can't believe what I was watching. So even though Sweden had good entries, they
Mm-hmm.
just couldn't turn it into anything with two of the best strikers in the entire world. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was the biggest statement win of the entire World Cup. Nobody expected something
I
like that.
I thought, and I have to actually give you flowers on one thing, right? So I remember it was before he even came to the Premier League. You always used to tell me how good Brabby
Who's
was,
that?
Brian Brabby.
Oh, Brambry, yeah, 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 yeah.
You said
Got
this
the thing
guy is
armor,
like
man.
an animal. You said if he can just clean up a few things, he'll be a problem. And
Yeah,
you could see it in the Premier League this year. This guy is a handful. You can't get around him really. And even though he's a big dude, he's Dutch, so like his touch is clean, and so man, he really has been the reason why I have like little confidence, because I just didn't see any of the attack. If it was gonna be Depay, he's not pushing back defenders. He's not holding back a team to create the space for the people to unlock in the little spaces. But Brabby does that to a T. Him occupy everybody. Everybody else can do them work because him taking on everything.
Yes, man, his physicality is not normal. And when you have physicality like that, you still are technical. I'm glad that they give him effort for his technical ability because a lot
Yeah.
of people, when he just came in, his touches was a little bit rushed, but they don't understand that the reaction timing from England to Netherlands is not the same, even though Netherlands is superior with technical ability. But if someone is closing it down faster, sometimes anxiety will creep in and your touches can look a little bit more rough around the edge. But when he touched the latter stages of the Premier League, you saw that his touches came in, and when it matches his physicality, it doesn't matter if he's playing Manchester City, Arsenal, he seems to give everybody the same level of problem. So I think he carried over that form into the World Cup. And
Yeah.
obviously, he's playing with these type of players, so he just works off that. And I agree, he's the best. He's one of the most improved players, which
Mm.
I can't even say that because I watched him from he's a kid coming up, and I was always talking about him. Him and
Yeah.
Gatorada kind of drop off a little, but because I expected him to be,
I thought
um,
I thought he would have gotten way more game time at Sunderland, but they just
yeah,
found something and he just wasn't a part of it. So it was hard for him to get in. But I was surprised. I thought he would play a lot more
if
in
they, if,
when he got the
if
move.
they if they had faith in him and just put him in midfield in that system, the deeper line midfield,
Mm.
I think he would have flourished just the same. But maybe they just put him as a right back,
Yes.
right side centre back. That's what they want to use him as, and that's how it goes with coaches. Coaches just have a set belief where you should play, and not knowing that he plays defensive central as well. So he can play right back, left back, and defensive central with centre back. But that's the Netherlands players. And sometimes they have too much talent,
All
and
right.
they can actually do so much things.
Yeah, because he's like because that's how Timber was too. When he was at
Yeah,
Ajax, they put
yeah,
him everywhere, left back, right back, center back. So a lot of them have that skill set to where they just put them somewhere because them technical enough and them know football enough to play different roles. That's
yeah,
just
man. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
one thing.
But I was watching the thing with the Brazil. I'm loving that they gave Brazil credit because I've figured out something in this World Cup. It's like everyone wants to cling on to the underdogs so much, they devalue the teams that are big teams because
Yes.
it's like it's expected, but you can't use expectation when every 4 years a rotation of different players. You have to go in with the quality of the players and the coaching staff and put everything together with who you're facing. And I
Mm.
want to say that Brazil, coming off the game against Morocco, where in which Morocco just looked like a flat out better team. They
Yeah.
couldn't close with Morocco no way, shape, and form because Morocco is the perfection. I've been walking around telling people that Morocco is the best team in Africa because they can fit in different systems. The other African teams and that are top level are just flat out flat track
Well,
bully that use physicality.
I
Period. They
don't.
don't. Hmm?
No, I was going to say I don't even think people realize the evolution of Morocco, because the coach in 2022, even though they had a lot of talent, his blueprint was counter attack, defend. This
Yes.
team has just turned into this expansive football team. And the thing is, because they still have players from the last version around, when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to it, because Brazil had a spell in that game where they were playing decent, once Ancelotti figured out a few things in the second half, and you
Yes.
saw them just revert to this dogged
Absolutely. And,
defensive, and it was the same thing. And then the difference is because them have this expansive style, now the counter attacks look even different because it's
yes,
not
yes, yes.
so much hopeful plays, it's more combination in the counter. And so they have like you said, they have different dimensions now, which make them very dangerous. And me, I worry about the game tomorrow. It's like probably the worst. I look at it and I say, boy, we play so good in this first round. And our prize for that is to play bloody Morocco in the first game.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
really?
Well, what you can say then, if they beat Morocco, I
Yes.
want to say that Morocco might be what because the first game that Morocco played, even with Germany dropped seven, I was still walking around saying Morocco is the best team, the best playing team today because you had France, now Spain that went on to draw with Cape Verde in that first
Mhm.
game. but
Mm-hmm.
still look good enough because the good thing about what I saw you did and what I do when you approach football from a footballing standpoint, the result doesn't really matter, as because remember it's a continuous event. So you have to prepare for the next game. So you're looking how they got their entries, who closing them off. So Spain
Mm-hmm.
still looks solid for me. I just wanted them to shoot from a little bit earlier so they could unlock Ayarzabal runs. And they went
Yes.
on and did the same thing and they got through there. So I was impressed with Spain just the same. But I said the biggest challenge was Brazil and the way, the combination, what you just talked about, the combination of knowing when to drop deep. So that his experience against Brazil. I thought America was the best performing team in the first game and it was a draw. But people
Yeah.
started to downplay Brazil that Brazil is not good. This is not the Brazil of old. We know that because we don't have Pele on the field, we don't have Arnold on the field. We have new players, but they are some of the best players in the world just the same. You understand me? So you can't say, oh, they are not the Brazil of old, but they still have some of the best players in the world, and Morocco has some of the best players in the world, and Morocco look at the better team. So Morocco, if you get the win against Morocco, my point was to say, if you get the win against Morocco, I actually think the Netherlands have to start looking at themselves as favorites. People put them up there as the top five before the World Cup started. But if they get the win over Morocco and they look comfortable, like I saw Canada pretty much shut down um, South
South
Africa
Africa.
in certain areas to make them not play, and let we go toe to toe with the speed football so we can drain the energy. If I saw something like that from Netherlands, I would be extremely impressed, Jason. You said it to me the other day. No, I think today, an African channel, you're saying that this is a different Netherlands team. I
Mm-hmm.
think I want to see how different they are,
Yeah.
um, to cut down angles, and if the game get away from them with the transition speed football, I do see them match them in areas because what Netherlands like to do, even when you got away with the speed football, they just use angles and education on you. I want them to come out from that angles and education and just put a beat down on someone with physicality as well because they have that player. They have Bramby them, they have the players them to match people with physicality. Gakpo them ain't slow, they ain't lack stamina. I think Gakpo might be one of the fittest players in the entire
Fit.
World Cup.
Gravenberg. Fit.
They are fit. So this like technical football is just break into them. It's hard for them to just go 100 miles an hour. Even in Liverpool team, Gravenberg still finding ways to course through the games them to
Mm.
make technical plays.
Yeah,
So
man.
that's
Good night, good
the
night,
thing about
good night.
Yes, CC Sports Lab is in the building. Man say, yo, I'm tired of listening to you people. CC,
No,
what you have to add?
no
Because
man, I just say good night,
we
man.
talk about your team, We talk about your team.
I think JD touched upon some point. Some people just want to be different, bro. Like when it come on to some team, them there's this narrative out there. Say Brazil, I gonna lose every time Brazil play. And I'm trying to understand if you watch the ball game, you really seeing that or you just saying that? If you understand what I say, like if every game I go say Brazil I gonna lose, Brazil I gonna lose, then what are we really watching? Is my team. I don't think Brazil is top four or top five in terms of favorite to win the World Cup. We already
Mhm.
understand that. However, the players that Brazil have, when looking the fact, Brazil have two of the best defenders in the world. They were voted the two best defenders in the Champions League, Gabriel and Marquinhos. Brazil have one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Attacking wise, Brazil have several attacking players that are amongst the best. Rafinha is injured, but Rafinha had statistics that was the best since Lionel Messi was playing for Barcelona. So how you gonna play down that? Vinicius Jr. was Ballon d'Or level a couple of years ago. They can't. So in terms of the attacking prowess that Brazil, I think the problem Brazil finds themselves in is in the fullback areas. Wesley getting injured prior to the World Cup was a, a big blow for Ancelotti. That's why the first game he tried Ibanez to see if he could experiment with Ibanez playing that role and overlapping, but it did not work in the Morocco game, and then he readjusted. So then he brought in Danilo, because I think originally he would want Danilo to be the backup and Wesley was the starter.
Mhm.
So you notice he made the adjustments going forward and the team looked different. if in terms of what he wanted to play, he wanted to play a 4-2-4, which a lot of people don't realize that's what he really initially wanted to do in the World Cup. He realized 4-2-4 is not going to cut it, especially in the temperature that they're playing.
So he was going to play with Casemiro and another man, a 4-man, when they want
Yeah.
Casemiro jump on the field
He
and dead.
basically was going to play with Casemiro and Bruno and then 4 forward.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh God.
Well, that
Because
so you see, well, I'm glad that something happened and make him never do that, because a team like Japan would have killed him.
Yeah, because
If
and
he
then
do
he
something
eat
like that.
and
Because
then
the
he
reason
eat.
why,
so confident.
you know
Up,
what changed,
up,
you
up.
know, what,
Before you go, Jason,
listen, hold
before you
on.
go, Jason, I
Yeah.
just want to touch this point to tell you that sometimes we meet, CC might have a point. A good day, CC. Hope everything is okay with you.
Yeah, man, respect, man.
You might have a point, you know. That 4-2-4 system, you know. Did you know that France used it against Senegal, Jason? And nobody would have known that that's what they did, because they once they can't contain the actual Roma in the 4-2-4 system, because they have a Roma, you know, he just started off from either the right wing, I guess because that was Olis in the system, and once they can't track that Roma, you have all sorts of problems to stop the other players. And your two attacking, two deep line midfielder becomes much more vacant to roam in spaces and block channels, and your back four comes up faster. It's just the function of the back four to jump up, to come up faster and drop off.
Yeah.
Once that can happen, the 4-2-4 doesn't look so bad. But I agree. I agree with you that I think that Japan is very technical and precise with their passing. They can cause that problem, but I think Brazil has some forwards that maybe can push back Japan, and they don't see or figure out the 4-2-4 until it's late. That's all I'm saying still. So it could have worked, but it could have gone bad too as well, as what you said.
Well, I think what really unlocked Brazil best situation, which is what we're seeing in like the last few games from me, is the minute that they decided we're not going to have an occupier of the two center backs in the team. We're going to play Cunha. He's going to drop back into midfield, and we're always going to outnumber people in the middle of the park. Between Paqueta, Bruno, Casemiro, and Cunha, that is how them getting a hold of games right now. And what it is doing, if you notice, Vinicius Jr. popping up everywhere, because when that forward not there, that space right in between the two center backs is there for him for a quick pass. And it's not just him, it's the right side man coming as well. So I think that open area for Vinny, because Vinny fast, you know. So unlocking more space for Vinny to just run into or dribble against people is a good thing. And I think Cunha intelligence in when to be there as a support to the attack and when to drop and support the midfield is crucial to everything what I'm doing right now. Cunha deserve a lot of credit for that, like how them playing better right now, I think.
Yeah, you're right. But what's a Gooner to? Brazil doesn't. I think Igor Thiago played his way into the team based on his performance. Because Brazil doesn't necessarily utilize a number 9 that is off that ilk. It's more of a number 9 that can drop in the pockets and pick up certain spaces, and then you have the wingers who can remember, like our R9. You have R9 are playing off Ronaldinho and Rivaldo. Those are players that can get in behind. And then R9 is not a player who is going to really stand up. He's not a really out and out striker. I love people. He's a striker, but he's not back to goal striker like a lot of
He
people
was
say.
more center forward-ish. He was more center forward-ish, kind of a drift and drop and yeah.
Yeah. So I think with that being said, I think the only problem was because Neymar injury got the recurring injury, that the calf injury, because Cunha, as I said before, would be the ideal man playing the role, and if Cunha comes off, then Neymar is going to occupy that role. And I think people don't realize that. Although I don't want us to stick to Brazil, people don't realize that Neymar playing even in the limited minutes that he played in had an impact on the game. That a lot of players who have played over 200 minutes or 150 minutes didn't have in their team. and that is creating opportunities. I saw him do it's almost a reverse kick. What they call a kick, the JD, it's a bicycle or a half volley pass that he made
I think
to
it's a
Vinny.
reverse reverse
Yeah,
Rabona.
man. And it was like probably 20 yards out.
Yeah, but Neymar will give it that at all times. You know. Neymar is one of the most technically gifted players I've ever seen played football. And but my point is, don't want to sway the conversation too far, Jason. But
Mm-hmm.
what are your takes on superstars that have passed their prime and
Mm-hmm.
failing to adapt to their team? Oh, which one of them you think will cost their team so far? Because you have Messi that have passed his prime, but Messi is still being effective because maybe he's so much of a
Yeah, so JD.
Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo is in it, and you
Mm-hmm.
have Neymar there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Croatia, you have Luka Modric still there. So you have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of superstars. Which one you would pick to say that you think that they're going to let down their actual team because they can't be benched and they're forced for positions? Because why I brought that up, I just heard CC said Neymar will be the second person coming on. But you have other players that can produce more than Neymar at this present moment. But
Mm-hmm.
because Neymar has this name, he's going to go in front of them, and sometimes that kind of break the train. We know that he can give us a solid 10 minutes, but you have others can give you a solid 70 minutes. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? But I
Mm-hmm.
saw that coach is still going for these older players that sometimes they don't know that they're past their prime. That arrogance can lead you to success sometimes. But in this World Cup, it has not. Aside from Messi, because even Madrid doesn't look as smooth as Messi's the only one look that way because the entire system is revolved around him. The rest
Yeah,
not so.
the one that I think can be the problem is Cristiano Ronaldo. But all right, I'll touch on the Neymar first, then get to the Cristiano Ronaldo. Neymar situation for me is gonna be like 20 minutes, JD. Really. So Hendrick and I think Hendrick and Ryan and those guys are ahead of Neymar in terms of getting onto the pitch. The difference is that the role that Hendrick or Ryan did can play. I don't think Ryan can play a false nine. Ryan is more of a wide player. I think Hendrick can play as a striker and as a wide player. So I think Hendrick could be the guy if you're taking off Cunha to replace Hendrick. A lot of people talk about Joe Pedro, but I don't think Joe Pedro is at the level required for Brazil at this point in time because when he plays for Brazil, he does nothing. He doesn't give anything more than Hendrick. He doesn't give anything more than Joe Pedro. And I think Estevao was the missing piece. If Estevao wasn't injured and he got to the World Cup and Neymar didn't go, I wouldn't have an issue because I think Estevao is a natural replacement for what Neymar can do. It's just that he's young. But he's more of the player that you take more impactful. And I think
Whoa,
Neymar is
whoa,
more.
whoa, whoa.
And I think Neymar is more of a 20-minute and depending on the rotation and how the coach wants to play. Because Hendrick can see the pace, the power, the precision for
CC,
which he
CC,
play.
CC, you come in like a swallow radio, brother. The man asks you something, I talk about Hendrick. Hendrick is
No,
a
no.
veteran.
Me know that someone got to the veteran now. So Neymar, I think, Neymar. Let me see. Cristiano Ronaldo, I think, is the one because I think the way in which Portugal plays, and if I don't know if you see it in the body language, JD, if you watch the games which Portugal plays, they don't seem like they want to pass the ball to Cristiano Ronaldo because I don't know if you watch in the Colombia game where there was this literal through pass where Cristiano Ronaldo made the run and was it Cancelo? What they just one of them picked up the ball at the halfway line and they dribbled till they made a reverse backward pass. And then I'm like, why would you do that? Then they dribble again till they got fouled in the middle when he was making the curling run. So for me, I think Cristiano Ronaldo is the one which can cost the team because he's past his prime and in the way in which Portugal is playing, it's not they haven't adjusted to play. Basically, they are moving away from playing with him in the team or around him in the team. And it actually has shown up in this World Cup, especially in the bigger games where I think they needed to win. So I think he's the one where it can cost them the most because he's not necessarily being. The game is being played in and around him. If you realize the midfielders are not really playing in a situation where they're playing him into the games or are playing the balls in the channels where you can get them, and then he's not quick enough on some occasion, because I saw a ball where they played as a through pass and he was jogging. You could see that he's literally couldn't get there for the ball. So I think if of all the ones, I think it more likely be him if he starts in the game.
Agreed, agreed.
Yeah, I think for me, you know, I actually thought Ancelotti kind of proved if you're gonna choose somebody that maybe is past their prime, right? I think the way Ancelotti has dealt with the whole Neymar thing is perfect, because he told him beforehand, like, listen, you're not gonna start, you're not gonna be a captain. And he's like, look, I know who you are. You're Neymar. You're like probably this generation's golden child, and you know the fans have reverence for you. All this, I think he put him in the team to try to eliminate the worry about why didn't you bring him. I honestly believe that in wholeheartedly, because I don't understand why him never bring the youngster João Pedro. And I think he knew if he brought Pedro and Neymar, and it would probably be worse if him have Neymar and never give him a game. You understand? So I think one of the best things happened for Brazil in the beginning was probably Neymar not being able to play. So that wasn't really talked about at first, like why you not playing him, why not playing him. So I think Ancelotti is the type of coach that won't let Neymar become the reason why they don't win. So that's why I'm not going to say Neymar. It has to be Portugal, because the difference with Martinez and him is so stark. You can see it. After the first game, everybody was saying it looks obvious that Ronaldo maybe is not clicking with the rest of the players. It's not working out. The runs, the timing not right. You know, there was that one play where the ball could have got left, but he tried to like twist up his foot to try to get on the end of it and score, when he could have just dummy the ball, right? And let Bruno put it in the goal probably. And everybody pretty much was thinking, okay, let's see if Roberto Martinez has the guts to say, Ronaldo, let's see how it look with Gonzalo Ramos or something else. Let's try something else. He didn't do it. They play against who did they end up killing in the next game?
Uzbekistan.
Right. Them kill Uzbekistan, him get 2 goals. He's back. Everything is happy again. And I said, you know what's gonna happen, right? When they play Colombia, a team that they won't dominate, a team that you'll have to work to get chances, it's not gonna work. And Colombia was the better team in the game. Colombia had the clearer chances. They had more chances. And Cristiano Ronaldo played the entire 90 minutes. So I think because of Ronaldo's way, and because I don't think Martinez has the guts to even say, listen, I'm going to take you off, I think Ronaldo is definitely the one. If you had to choose one that's going to like pull down the team, it's going to be Ronaldo, because I don't think the coach has the guts to kind of let him know straight up, like, listen, I'm going to start you, but 55 minutes, I'm going to take you off. He's not going to do that. And it's obvious that he probably should be on some kind of minutes thing. And who knows, if you play him in the last 25, 20 minutes, you might get a Ronaldo that can do something. But yeah, sustain it for 90 minutes, not at this level, not at the pace, not like when they start to play these better teams, you know. I don't think he's going to be.
But Gooner also, the coach too, is garbage. Roberto Martinez, we have to say it, JD, is garbage. He's not a tactical genius.
He was
Because
not but I know.
There's no way you have Bernardo Silva and don't know how to fit him in the team. If you notice the way in which Pep plays Bernardo Silva, it's similar to how Portugal team would have set up, you know, and then you have, for example, put everybody in Pep Man City team. You have Erling Haaland, who is not going to touch the ball more than 15 times. Let's be real. But when you look at the midfield and how Pep set it up and have Bernardo Silva playing, Erling Haaland doesn't need more than 15 touches to get a ball in behind to score a goal. And I think that's the problem that Roberto Martinez as a player like Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, João Neves, and Bernardo Silva, and he does not know the combination with which he needs to play. And that is the issue. Because if you notice, the midfield is not clicking the way they want it to click. All they do is recycle possession, turn back the ball, recycle possession, turn back the ball. They're not creating anything. They're not
But,
inventing anything.
maybe what Jason was saying is correct. If they had compact Ronaldo's minutes, so he knows. So if it goes back to what you're saying as well. Martinez might not have the cojones to say that. Listen to me, Ronaldo. You're the big star. You're going to be everything. But we want only 55 minutes out of you, so we get the best Ronaldo, and you get the best for yourself as well because you're going to get leggy, and the entire team will get caught will be cost by your actions. So what we're saying here, CC, is runs need to be made for midfielders to see those runs so they can reward those runs. Ronaldo stuck between the line a lot of times, or jog, and then wingers have to run down the line, and then he drops back to try and get a header onto the ball. He's not running after certain moments. He stops run, and then he runs in spurts. But that is slowing down the game for Portugal. So there is nowhere for the midfielders them to pass the ball, CC. So that is a part of football as well where we have to pay good attention. We're quick to blame the midfielders them, but no option is there for the midfield. If you had put a younger striker, which they have a very valid younger striker, a Champions League winner, put the damn player on the field. And maybe you will get something different because he's going to occupy two centre backs, so it's going to create more spaces for the wingers. Them, so the Bernardo Silva that you're talking about, that's what he thrives on. You notice who you name? You name Alan. Alan is the greatest space provider in world football. So that's why you have a Bernardo Silva with a million space there, and he can use his technical ability, which is the one of the best in the world at, and then create avenues with his cutbacks then because he doesn't cross the ball, he cuts it back. To put the channel passes in for the runners for the midfield in. You don't have those because Ronaldo can't play like Haaland. You understand me? He doesn't have the legs. He doesn't have the physical strength. So I think I wouldn't jump to blame two of the best performing midfielders because both of them were the actual two best performing midfielders aside from Rice in the Premier League just a while ago. I can't turn around blaming them. You agree with me, Jason, and the other guy on the panel?
Yeah, I think you have to because if the players are the same and they just finished that season, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, you can't tell me these players stop knowing how to play in 3 weeks. So it must be something that they have in that system and setup that's just making it not click. Even Bruno Fernandes is not like creating at the level that we see him create for in the Man U team. And we know that, yeah, maybe at Man U the game is more geared towards him and everything, but even at the same time, I think a lot of that has a lot to do with some of those spaces that Bruno would be sending passes to. Ronaldo can't occupy them anymore. He just can't do it. It just
But I
not
got
working.
but I'll give you show you something. Look, you watch Belgium, right, JD, and you
Yes.
realize how much chances Belgium creates, even with Lukaku. Should all right. Because I think we don't mention Lukaku to you, because Lukaku to me
Lukaku
passing
is
prime time.
30, Lukaku is 32. I
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he's
if
can't.
what
only he's only just come back from injury. That's why he's not
Yeah.
really.
yeah, all
So
right,
he's
so put him
If he was fit, he would.
41, and the next one is 32. Lukaku is 600 foot, 3 million pound of muscle. He can occupy defenders standing up, big boss. You don't have much more physically imposing player than Lukaku in football, including Ronaldo. So it's easier for him to occupy centre backs. CC. So he's a
no man,
valid.
I understand it. No, I understand it now. I was simply just making the point to say the the the, the chances created by Belgium in
Mm-hmm.
terms of Lukaku standing up there and occupying the centre backs, vis-a-vis the chances not created by Portugal, given Ronaldo is up there. So I'm saying if we put somebody else up there, is it that because Bruno needs runners to be able to do what he does best, vis-a-vis the Belgium players don't necessarily need runners in order to create or do what they're doing. Especially given when you have the likes of Doku who can mix it to foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Um,
to me,
okay.
to me, the inventiveness of the Portuguese midfield somewhat. is different in terms of the inventiveness of the Belgium midfield, because when I saw when the Belgium attacking players, I think Portuguese midfield is a more static midfield.
CC are two of the best midfielders in world football. Um,
Yes.
Onana, and Tillemans are nowhere near Bruno and Silva, brother. It's not
Oh,
that I am telling you. It's the striker that holds the centre back, so the actual wingers can operate and give the midfielder options. I am telling you, if you put Bernardo Silva and Fernandez on Belgium, they are winning the World Cup.
me,
Believe me.
me don't know about Bruno. Me don't know about Bruno Fernandez
Bruno
because some
finding Doku in space, brother.
um,
Doki is one of the most unstoppable one-on-one players, and that fear will free up Bernardo's passing range, so he can get to the striker. He can progress earlier to shoot from range as well.
no,
CC,
Bernardo Silva, I agree with you know. Bruno Fernandez to me is overrated, you know. But I'll not get into that, you know. Isn't me? But I'll not get into that.
okay,
But
okay.
as
So,
you
all right.
rightfully said though, if they change the forward and different in terms of putting Ramos in there where you can get the more running, you might see the best, because if the coach realize you have Varetskhelia, you have Dembele and Doué and those guys at PSG playing with Vitinha and Neves, and the pace at which those guys play, I think coming to a Portuguese team and you're not getting those type of runs in the team, it can throw the players off. But the Germany thing that I want to touch on, I think Germany for me,
CC, hold on, CC. I think you have someone else on the panel than CC. You
go
can't
Yeah,
on,
just.
man. Grimy, Grimy. This is this is the
Grammy,
most
go on,
silent I
Grammy.
ever heard you. What happened, Grimy? I know you have some takes to, you know.
Grammy, I take out the pen and pencil, man. Grammy, I go and write in notes.
All right, so Grimy, if you're taking notes, make sure when CC talk, you put on the pen. All right. All
By
right,
the
so
way,
listen,
Guna,
listen, no,
how much
listen.
people to get?
On a serious level, great discussion. But let me just get a little bit back on track. Cause I kind of want to get through all of the game them and at least just pick a winner for them. Because once the game start back up, I'll be doing mainly live matches and I won't have this much time to kind of talk about all the games. So while we're here tonight, I just want to do that. I got a lot of picks from people today, social media, all kind of ways people sending me picks. But anybody who don't reach out to me, I have the big book. I'm gonna document everybody. I'm gonna see who picked the most winners right out of these 15 games left in this round. All right. So far, me have my picks on the screen. So if anybody want to think I am lying when I tell you I have one, you can take a screenshot of the screen because I can't change these after I hit save, so I won't cheat. All right. I am going with Brazil to win 3-2, Germany to barely get by Paraguay 1-0 defensive game, and then Netherlands and Morocco in another thriller 3-2. If you want to play along with this thing I'm using, it's a real cool thing on FIFA.com where you can do your match predictor. You pick your score. You can say who's going to score first and which player going to score the first goal in the game. And yeah, you can just accumulate your points that way. If you want to do it that way, that's kind of nice. A way where you can also say that I am not cheating because I'm going to write what they tell me, you know. But man always tell me some change it and them actually win when them never win. So if you want it documented, that's a good way. You can just document it that way. All right. So Mass said 2-1, 2-0. All right, cool. Have you done, Mass? All right, big up. So that's basically the 3 games tomorrow. Any of these games you guys disagree with who I picked to win? Brazil, Germany, Netherlands.
Also, I think the Brazil game for me is gonna be 3-1 Brazil in my I think it's gonna be 3-1 doesn't necessarily mean that Brazil is going to outclass Japan. We're not saying that. But I think 3-1 is basically saying Brazil has a better defense that a lot of people think they do. And I think they might let in one, but their offensive is so potent that I think they can go on to score 3 goals. I wouldn't rule out Japan scoring a goal though, because Japan's combination plays and their ability to not their ability to maintain form and whenever they make a substitution, like it's almost like for like, no matter the player that comes on. I think that in and of itself gives Japan the chance of getting a goal. And I think the game is going to be an exciting one. So I would say, yes, agree with Brazil, but the score for me would be 3-1 in that scenario. Germany, I think the Ivory Coast game kind of exposed Germany in a bit. A lot of people love to say Brazil fall off, but since Germany won the World Cup, they have done nothing. They've really done nothing. So if Brazil fall off, Germany drop off. So and there are two big teams. There are two big teams. Somehow, somewhere along the line, people forget about Germany, but Germany fall off of the map too. So they are basically here trying to get redemption in this World Cup, just like Brazil. So what I would say is the Paraguay team has improved a lot since that 4-1 debacle against the US. I think it started in the second half of that game. I think they were a bit shell-shocked in the first half, but they came back into their own in the second half, and they have looked respectable since then, cleaning up a lot of mistakes in the backline. I think Germany, Paraguay, I'll put Germany, Paraguay down to a draw, and it's a penalty shootout for me.
Oh God, that is pure.
Germany penalty shootout. And who are going to win? Germany are going to win the penalties or
Germany going to win the penalty shootout.
Oh God. Love what you're doing here, Jason. For the Japan, I can't believe that it's Ueda. I remember Ueda when I went to watch Ziminis, and I said this dude is not normal, Jason.
him
You
same
know,
man.
Ueda leading the line. I'm loving to see that the guy really pick on. Surprisingly, the two guys in that I thought about, they're the ones leading their lines to their country. Ueda and my boy from Suriname as well. So
Yeah.
that's just great, man. Ueda, I'm not gonna count them out. This game can turn exactly as what you have said, but I would have to lean with CC to say that I think that the 3-1 would go much more respectable to the forwards of what Brazil has and the defense line, because Brazil defense line is way better than what people give them credit. I can agree with CC there. But where I have to say CC losing a touch because of the beating that Germany give Brazil, and they keep on repeating the game. They keep on reshowing the game. So it looks like Brazil beat Germany, Germany beat Brazil 7 in this World Cup, Jason. So it looks like he has an 80 for Germany. Germany is in still good year. I can tell you that Ecuador game, I said to my wife 15 minutes in the game, I think that Germany is selling the game to Ecuador. I don't know. I don't want to sound disrespectful to Ecuador. They're good, but I saw Leroy Sané have a ball right in front of the goal. Jason and the man turn
But
around after having a one-on-one. We keep and ping it wide and kick it
Asane,
out the door. I have never seen that in world football.
Asane style that man. The man always do some madness. Especially when
What?
I play for Germany.
No, but after just scoring, and the guy then scored back, I know you should score again. You turn around and just hit the ball outside. And even was it what the young kid name from Liverpool? He's looking like Verts. Like your brother, what you scored a goal and we don't need fifty
I
thousand
saw
pounds.
I saw some German fans talking, and they asked them. They said they were asking who they think would win the World Cup, and all of them I said France, France, France. So the man saying to them, "So what happened? You don't think your team can win?" They said that performance against Ecuador just made me don't think we can win. Like we don't have the mentality. I'm saying, right,
It will discourage you when you see players doing that. Just you wonder what's going on. But I thought that the German engine is still there. It's just they need to activate it whenever they want. Because once they activate it, Jason, they look at the unplayable team in the entire competition. Once you just put the German machine together, it's very good. So I want to say that Paraguay, Jason, have zero chance. Zero
Mm-mm.
chance against Germany. Paraguay is a dog crap team. They are
Yes,
they're exactly the team that try to not play football,
they might
especially
haram they might haram ball Germany to death. You never know.
And Jason, that's why I
Them
said,
hold them face
Jason,
and cover them mouth from attack and get red card and still win. Like them man, they just do all.
Jason, I am telling you, the only way they win this game is if Germany decide that they're going to sell it to them. I think that this is going to be the most lopsided game in the entire competition, in the entire round. I think Germany win by because they're going to score early on them, and they're going to win this 4 goals. So 4 goals. I don't even think they're scoring. I think that early goal and let them have to come out and play will expose that what the United States did to them is just because they are not as good. They try to play physical football and try to stop the damn play and kill you. If you're not good at concentrating, that's why I'm giving Germany so much goals. Because Germany, once they lock in, you can't do nothing. And this team ain't the same level as no team. They just scam football, and I'm very sad how referees continue to let them play this style of football. Jason, they don't want to play no sequence. If they could just stop the football for
Them
90
just
minutes, they stop it for 90 damn minutes.
foul.
Oh my God, man. It's annoying to watch, man. I need them to get out of this damn World Cup and let teams that want to go up against other teams. That's why I wasn't sorry for South Africa in the Jason. Because South Africa, I don't think they have the talent to go to the next round. They have the good system, but they don't have the talent to go to the next round and don't just sit back. I am
Get
tired of
the
this.
players. It's the players have good ideas, but them can't, the execution is not there enough.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
there.
So the sit back thing, I can't bother with the sit back team, and I know that the goalkeepers them getting all of this applauded because they are having some world class games. But goddamn, this is the later rounds, Jason. I don't want none of these teams go to no
You don't
penalty
want
and
to
win.
see, you don't want to see the keepers winning man of the
No,
match.
I don't want 55 saves again. I need actions. I need teams that can actually beat the next team. This sitting back and goal post a savior,
You don't
Jesus Christ, in the
you
goal.
don't want you
The
don't want
goalkeeper.
goalkeepers getting 5 million followers after a game.
No, I don't want that because that is going to kill football. It's going to be anti-football against the actual football team. We need some more go up against each other. Like I can beat you, you can beat me.
Yeah.
This one-sided side and then the one-sided team
Well,
miraculously save 60 chances and win a game. No, 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 no.
well,
I don't want.
good segue to the last game tomorrow because this is one of them that I think two teams will play football. Netherlands versus Morocco. So you
Yes,
see on the screen,
yes.
I gone for another 3-2. I think it's gonna be a nail biter. I think I'm probably gonna have to make sure I have
No.
change of pants, change of drawers, everything. So if you have never seen me nervous, just tune in tomorrow night when I do this game because trust me, I know I'm going to sweat a lot during this game tomorrow. And I honestly believe we can win the game and we will win the game. But I swear to you, people, it's my team. If we come out and don't win, I would not be shocked either because I really respect Morocco and I think they have a really good team. But I just think we'll have enough in there. I really like how De Jong and Gravenberg, and I'm telling you, people, if Reinders can give me 80% of Reinders, will win the game tomorrow. We haven't
Okay.
got that from him yet.
Up full, my brother. Up full, bro. Sorry.
Oh, you say, Grammy, you have finally gotten to a place where you can speak to the people.
Yeah, man, we reach home and thing go.
All
Settling,
right. Well,
one
listen.
thing and thing.
Well, listen. I'm going to go to you next. I'm just going to finish my point on the Netherlands game. So, if Reinders to me turn up and give me the Reinders that make Man City buy him, I don't even need 100%, I need 75 to 80% of Reinders. Because so far, I don't get no more than 60 from him. For whatever reason, it's not clicking, it's not coming off, the energy not quite there, like how it can be. If him can match what De Jong and Gravenberg's been giving me, then I think we're going to win the game just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brabby will do his thing. I'm telling you, they have a player in Morocco back line that I think going to cause them problems tomorrow. Him tried to do it in the Brazil game a few times and him get away. But you see that boy named Issa Diop around there? I bet you Issa Diop give you a goal tomorrow.
Yes, I think Bramby is Brazil players are good, but I don't
Oh, you
think they are.
said give away a goal.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Issa Diop going to give away a goal to
Yeah,
Netherlands
because
tomorrow,
I'm
doing
liquor
something.
thing where I'm use, I'm liquor overlapping style where I have. Love attack.
I
I
agree with you, Jason. They have to mix up things tomorrow, Morocco, to in order to have a chance. I think Morocco have to use all
Yeah,
of your
yeah.
experience,
Them have to
all of
mix
your
up.
experience,
Them have to
because
yeah,
mix up and they
Netherlands
have to
go in
come
like
good.
because to me the big matchup, the kid from Lille who was gonna play for France up until yesterday, and him said,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm gonna play for Morocco. He's all the rage, and I'm telling you, tomorrow, because him play against Brazil and play wicked. But even though them
Mm-hmm.
have Casemiro and this man, I don't think their midfield function like our own function. So
Yes, yes.
I want to see how the kid and Alan El Anawi and Unawi, if him start to, whoever them play as that three, to me that are the matchup of the game. Them three against our three, who control
Yes.
more of the game?
The midfield, no man. The Netherlands will control the game, man. Midfield, but
Yeah, in
Netherlands,
midfield, come on. Go now. You just have, make it sound like CC if you tell you the truth. Morocco, if you tell you the truth, me see Morocco play the three game and Brazil game, even though it was the first encounter, it wasn't. We not see them a beat you, bro. Them have some good play, but me not see them a beat you, bro. Tell you the truth. It was another Morocco when me see last year. Then, if you understand me.
ooh,
Morocco
So
did that
so
come out
so
last
Granny,
year.
you think the last version would have had a better chance to beat us tomorrow?
Yeah, man. Last year the Virgin, you see me? The hot Morocco the way, But this one you know, sir.
Well, I
And
think I
then
think one
CC,
I think
well,
one difference, Grammy, with this one, right? The
mhm.
last one, if you remember, that big rotted brother named El Nasiri was on fire.
yes.
Mhm.
Netherlands here was on fire for you.
And
Yeah.
I
Reason
don't
why me
think,
say that.
and
The
I
reason why
don't
me say
think,
that. My
and I
man
don't think that
Ibrahim
they've really, I mean, they've used Cyber as the false nine and it working. But I wonder against Netherlands if
against
that's
who he
really going to
used it
work.
against and it worked,
Yeah,
family.
yeah,
Who did he use
yeah.
it against and it worked? You have too much experience in the middle. First and foremost, you have to control the midfield of the game. So basically, the game will be yours. Morocco, when them get it, brother, them just have to play regular. Them have to defend more how they attack. Trust me. Trust me, them have to defend more than
And
they
we will be the ones kind of forcing them back in the game, basically, because you think we're gonna control the midfield a little bit more. Okay,
Yes, I agree with you,
see
Grammy
that.
there. I think once Dumfries get into the game, I think
Mhm.
Netherlands is going to dominate the game. For some reason, I just believe that because Dumfries offer something different with their triangle chops and closing down zones. I think that if he advances, so if he has the opportunity to advance, I am going with Grammy. Even as good as Morocco is, I actually think that Netherlands can win it easy. The
Yeah, man, I
technical
can
ability of
walk
the
by. Yeah,
Netherlands
man.
is something ridiculous, man. When as what we said for Germany pride themselves on energy level, Jason, to drain it down.
Mhm.
Netherlands pride yourself on passing with the energy level, so you're jading at faster rate, and that's what they do to teams that we're not
It's
calculating that into it. You understand? They will drain you, man. They will drain you even 30 minutes. So if they have their way, I could see it go that way. But I have to say to Grammy, I think this Morocco team is better. If they can mix up things, they can make it difficult for Netherlands. But I agree with you. I think Netherlands. I am actually going with 3-1 for Netherlands. Not a
okay.
3-1 blowout, but a 3-1,
Similar to
2-1.
similar to Brazil's 3-1, like a game. The score looked bigger than the game play was.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
So the
Oh,
extra
and
goal
then
is
let me jog back the conversation little and tell CC why people assess up about Brazil. Why them want Brazil to lose CC is because Brazil is not their team. Every match where Brazil play, Netherlands play, me want them lose because of Spain, me say. So you
okay.
can't upset with people for wanting your team to
Granny,
lose.
that's a your opinion, my boss. Let me tell you, the reason why the people them want Brazil to lose is because
All right.
Brazil, for
Mm-hmm.
years, just like Man
Is
City,
that
right?
threat?
Look, Man City recently, right? Everybody want Man
Brother,
City to
that
lose.
and the
Why?
thing. CC, just
No, hold on, no, hold on,
give
no,
me
hold
short
on, no.
spicy, no, brother. Give me.
Yeah, that's what I say. Everybody want Man City to lose recently. Why? because Man City has been the most dominant team in recent times.
But
So,
you haven't been Brazil haven't been the dominant team in the last 5-10 years, brother. So what are you saying?
but I'm
5, 10
asking which team has
20 years.
surpassed Brazil? Which team has
Brother,
surpassed Brazil as an
would not say
international
something about
dominant
accolades.
force?
Please, we're not talking about accolades, you know,
Yeah,
We're
brother.
not talking about
But we
accolades.
sure no. Oh
All
no,
right.
no. We're not.
Spain,
If we
Spain,
are gonna put
Spain.
accolades in ICC, Brazil are gonna take it. But different from the accolades, brother. Japan can give Brazil
Jap-
competition. Spain can beat Brazil.
So which team
Netherlands
can give
can
team?
beat
So hold
Brazil.
on there. But which team can give team competition? Spain has done nothing at the World Cup since they win the World Cup in the boss.
They no win.
You
No, you
never
know
know
leave
this.
me. But all right. The last time you win the World Cup, what have you done from them time till now? You know get be beaten, brother.
We
What
have
you
never
try say?
dropped out at we have never dropped out at the group stage.
What does that mean?
It means that
What it mean?
we have not.
We
Hold on,
work
no.
list.
It
We work
means
list and you good.
it.
What
Me,
does
I'm
it
saying
mean?
to you, it
We
means
work list and you good.
you ask a question, I know my answer.
Yeah,
No,
that's what me
CC,
ask
what
you.
is inaccurate? Yes, you said since Spain win the World Cup, which is 2012, right?
2010,
2010.
2010.
2010,
Yeah, I'm still
2010.
there. Where
They
me
went
rank?
on
Where
to
me
win
rank in our world? Number 2
they
or
went
3?
on to go
No,
final into multiple.
Me ask you a
Spain is the
question. Where me
most
rank in the world,
consistent
CC?
team. So CC, that is not accurate, CC.
all right. So
Spain is the
listen,
most dominant team in the last
And
15
2
years.
year ago, me win world.
Since
2 year
winning
ago,
World
me give
Cup.
France five
hold
five.
on, no, hold on. No. So let
Yeah,
me explain something.
so I don't know,
Since
CC. What?
since
Okay, go
Brazil
ahead.
has won, since Brazil has won the World Cup, Brazil has won the
Mm-hmm.
Copa. Brazil has won several other international tournaments, right? Several other
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and several other Copa America, all of them thing there. I've been to several
Mm-hmm.
other finals up until I think 2021, which they were in the Copa America finals. However, Brazil is judged only on the World Cup when it comes down to a lot of other people or them attack. So anytime Brazil is at the World Cup, people forget that Brazil has been to several finals, have won multiple trophies since they win
No,
the
Yeah,
World
it's
Cup.
not
the
that.
reason,
That's not
the
it.
reason why people can use that, CC, because Europe have Germany, France, everybody. So it's like always every year a European cup is a World Cup in itself. CC, no disrespect to the Copa. It is not the same level. You have to just wait on Argentina and just beat Argentina or Colombia, and that's pretty much it. Are just a next dog crap Chile team that don't want to play the football for 90 minutes. So CC, come on, man, you cannot compare European football to what's going on in South America, man. It's not.
And that's the problem. And
So
that's the
that's why
problem,
people,
Jade.
but that's why
The
people have
man
to
says
follow
Spain
the
no do
team
nothing
for the
from
World Cup.
2010. Me no win Euro
That's,
CC after 2010. Me no win
yes,
Euro.
you cannot just win you.
Yes, you win
Me not
Euro.
been to multiple finals. Me
Just
not
win
been to
Nations
multiple
League
final
too.
after that.
Just
You just win Nations
No,
League
I am
in the
saying to
last
you.
20 years.
Hold on, no. I
Bro,
am
it's
saying to
what you
you,
said. That's why we are trying to show
Grimy,
you, brother.
listen to me, I say no. I am
Go on.
saying to you that people give England a greater chance of winning the World Cup over Brazil.
Because
A
it's their
England
team. They
team,
want England to win because they're
and because
supporting
of them
England.
team, boss, me I talk about people who are not England and them
no,
team.
and but that also has to do with what England has been doing at major tournaments the last few times. I mean, I don't think England would be such a favorite
Hold
if
on, hold on, hold on. Guna.
eh?
Don't make
Eh?
CC tell you no foolishness. CC, name a fan where a supporter next team where want England to win. Tell me somebody.
Bro, you keep on talking about team.
Bro,
It's
it's
not
what you
because
just said. You just said someone.
Grammy. In England, in CC, right? In the United States,
That's right.
everybody that says they don't want. If United States not winning and they want to pick a European team, they seems to go for England. So clearly, it's the only European team
Okay.
they're trying to
If you
know.
hear what you said,
Yes,
you
yes,
said
yes,
if my team no win, I would like that team to win.
yes,
That does
yes,
seem
yes,
that you're supporting two teams.
yes.
It's
But that's
not
what I'm
one.
saying. So
You're not an
America.
American saying you don't want USA to win. You
No,
want
no, no,
England
no,
to
no,
win.
no. But I
You're
think
an
that's what CC was
American
saying.
bringing USA, and if USA don't go all the way, you want England to go all the way.
Yes, I think
So
that's what
that
CC
is not
was
what
trying to say.
CC is saying, JD.
at that me I say my boss, me I
No,
say
that
to
Daughter.
he said early on. He just switched it up a little, but that's what he said early on. Like everybody want Brazil to lose. So even
All
the
right.
same
Well,
thing that said
JD,
England to
me
win,
want
they
every
want to
team to
want Brazil
lose
to lose.
because as Spain on my side, me want an easy road
No,
to the final.
Grammy, what he's saying, like all the guy that would have said, okay, if America don't win, we want England to win. they still
All
catch
right.
on. They want Brazil
Ask
to
me.
lose.
All right. So with me now, if Spain no win, more Mexico for win. What does that say? Well, yeah.
Oh,
No, all
okay,
right. So let me put it to you, right?
Mexico, I'm a dark horse team.
Granny, but you don't put in the conversation you want Brazil to lose. All of them people
How you mean if
always
me put them in it?
okay, some Granny just make CC points. You know,
No, I'm not business with Brazil. Them a lose everything for lose, JD.
All right. So me put, but the
That's
JD,
why
let
me
me
I
put the
try
point.
show him say you gotta have fans out there where bring teams
No,
where
but
they just
Grammy,
want Brazil to lose. I don't
but me
hate them
gonna give you
hate
the
Brazil
point of
or
me,
anything,
boss.
bro.
No, the
Them
point
just
I'm
want
making is
you lose.
No, Brazil is my team. I want Brazil to win. I
Yeah.
don't think Brazil is a team that is. If I'm picking teams that are going to win, are supposed to win,
Mm-hmm.
Brazil wouldn't have been the team that I picked. The first of all, I picked Spain as the number one favorite. I pick wait a minute, France as number two. I pick Argentina as number three, and I think I pick I think it was Spain, and I think I pick it was Netherlands as number four, and I think England as number five. Remember, Brazil is my team now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, realistically speaking, given the fact that I think Netherlands have the fourth best midfield, I think Spain midfield is better than Brazil. Everybody beat Spain, France,
I'm
Netherlands,
still not fire yet.
England. So me personally, I feel look upon it on a realistic point of view to say, whilst my team has a chance of winning, there are teams that are ahead of my team. Therefore, the
So,
coach have to
even
make the
with the
right
performance
tactical.
of Spain, you still
Even with the
winning.
performance of Spain, because I think De La Fuente
Wow.
made some stupid decision in the Cape Verde game. And I mean, they drew nil because, first of all, Gavi is not a winger. I don't know what they're trying or what they're experimenting. Second of all, Ferran Torres for me is no good out wide if you're not playing him in the false nine role. So I think tactically he made some errors in terms of I thought he should have played the guy, but I already got an injury. When Munoz JD that is at Liverpool signed him. Because I'm saying if you carry the winger, Lamine is injured and cannot play for 90 or can't start or is not able to start, and Nico is not able to start. Munoz is on the bench. Why not play him out wide? Because he's a natural replacement for the wing for
But
Yamal.
yeah, what I think he figured he was trying because he knew that Cape Verde wouldn't try to attack him.
Play,
So
yeah.
all
The
the
man
concern
play
was the
Gavi
main
because him
thing.
feel like say Gavi have
Yes,
the experience and know what it takes for
that
play
is
the
one of
wing
the most
role.
technical
But I
players.
guess Gavi
Yes.
shit up a chance where him
No,
get.
that I'm just saying to you. No, that's what I was saying to you. That I wouldn't.
This is how high Spain standard is. Did you know that that game Spain might create the most chances in the entire World Cup? You
Yeah,
know
man,
that
because I
guys
think
in that same
Rodri.
one game, that we're saying that they are no good, they have created the most
Let me
chances.
No,
talk
I'm
on the
not saying
phone.
they were no good. I'm not
And
saying
Jesus
that they were no
Christ,
good.
and the goalkeeper grinding, make
Yeah,
them
and
not get
read the comment
any.
section and I talk same time.
Oh, me? No, no, I'm not reading comment section.
No,
No,
man. Me
I
I
think
go flip, man. I put them on the screen same way.
Rodri
Oh.
made six. Rodri made six defensive line breaking passes
Yes,
in that game, I believe.
we need to give Spain their respect. I think that Spain improves EC because they realize no team will come out in this round and try to play against us. So we have to figure out
Mm.
how to adjust in the low
Well,
block.
a lot of our predictions and how we are analyze the World Cup so far. We are wrong and all them things, but I just our little knowledge of the football where
No,
we
I don't
kind
think
of
so. I think
analyze. Cause trust me, the World Cup will bring a lot of surprises thus far.
no,
Yeah, but
no,
I mean,
I
To
don't think
me,
it's right. Oh, yeah, because most of the results, then we have gotten them right because I think this World Cup Grammy,
I chip
we
in
have
and
very
chip out. You there, Gooner? Now hear me?
Yeah, man. We can hear you clear, bro.
Okay. True CC did attack and him chip out. Yeah,
what
so
we're
just
saying.
that the World Cup, brother, it's unpredictable. Me been a go say it the same way. Spain on my side, them not perform to how me want them to perform. And that performance there, me not follow CC. Cause CC a tell like on the media. That the performance there, Spain can't win World Cup with them the three performance they with them play.
what do you
They not
mean?
even pass round at 16. If I saw they come out
Okay.
come play again. That me I tell you.
Bro, I said to you, say Spain is ahead of Germany. All right. Remember, Grammy, when I said the
Daddy,
7-1.
yeah, what me
Remember
just
when I
said?
said the 7-1 that Germany gave Curacao? I tell people, say Curacao give themselves 7. Curacao, make them get 7. Because Curacao coach, the game, the 1-1, and Curacao coach decide, say, he might go play toe-to-toe with them people here were better than him, rather than to say, go back down in a lower block, hit them for the counter because they have the pace out wide.
Hit who
You
at the
decide, say, I
counter?
go take
Germany?
7. I'm saying in Germany game, you're the 1-1,
Then should
right?
take 7.
And I'm saying when you could go, say, all right, let us revert to play a mid to low block and
With a
try to
1-1.
get
Hold on, now, with a 1-1.
no with a 1-1, saying that you're going
Yeah.
to adjust
So you think
the
that
tactical adjustment
Germany
in the
couldn't break
game.
down them low block?
I'm not saying Germany couldn't. Germany would have beaten them still, But I'm
Yeah, but
saying
you're
that the
saying the result shouldn't be so much.
the result wasn't supposed to be 7. So
DC
when
Jamaica couldn't
people
do
saw,
better. DC Jamaica couldn't
but
do better.
no,
I
not
Man, I
Jamaica.
think
hear you, man.
Jamaica would have gotten
You
the same
just now tell
zero
us that Brazil will get
as
7 too.
Croatia.
Jamaica would. Jamaica would have. Jamaica, we tell people there that they say once we
Even
not.
after speed, land the plane on the field and put it in front of the court.
Jason, because he might land the plane on the field, that's why they never had no chance. And they never got, remember, at 3 Nigeria give Jamaica, a fifth string Nigerian team, a 4 Panama give you.
Yes, and as soon as you say that, I'm gonna go tell you say a 1-1 withdraw with South Africa behind
Oh,
closed
yeah,
door.
behind closed
Brother,
door.
then don't
Behind
start
closed
say
door.
30 Gooner.
And Congo, who reached round of 32, they
We would
needed
have
a
been there.
handball to
We
beat
would
us.
have been there.
They needed a handball to beat us. So, are we really that bad?
Bro,
Boy,
Just Cap Verde draw with beat Morocco them.
Go on,
Are you
JD.
ready?
Go ahead.
No, Cap Verde, no, they drew with somebody else as
JD, that's
well
so.
with a big result. That's all I'm saying. So everybody get result. So
everybody get the result, man.
Jamaica
Huh?
would have gotten 7 or 8 or 9. Believe me.
What's the
Don't
CC?
oversell Jamaica.
No, watch out. I think McLaren. I think under McLaren, Jamaica.
Oh,
Well, Jamaica created chances, but me not really want to talk about Jamaica because we never
Brother,
had the World Cup.
me
So I
neither.
think the people at the World Cup
yeah.
deserve more talking
Yeah, but the
time.
Jamaican
Jamaica.
them fi talk about Congo, brother. Leave him
Wait,
and them
go
alone.
them brother. Let me tell you, say people them delusional. Jamaica no qualify.
Man,
My
they say
boss.
Jamaica would have there round of 32 of face
How
Argentina
for
too.
that round of 32 when you could even make it to the World Cup itself? That makes sense.
Lord have
Not
mercy.
to me, never.
Anyways,
Anyways, back to the World Cup.
I agree with you. Enough of Jamaica. Then we can talk about them
Enough.
only per
Me
day.
gone. Yeah,
After World
man.
Cup done.
After World Cup, we go beat
Cote
them again.
d'Ivoire versus Norway. People, this one is a spicy one too, I don't think people giving it the credit where it's deserving. This game is going to be really, really good because Norway is a team that play out of Europe, but I swear these guys don't play like no European team. Them play different to me, brother. I don't know if you want to see it, but
Yeah,
them
man. Them play
play
different, man.
they play different, brother. And they're a very technical team. Even when they all right, do you guys see the France game when it was the so-called second string of Norway, how the man them a pass the ball?
You know, me just go fi say that to you, bro. I say, look how the
Brother,
second string go out against majority of the starting France line and kind of holding on a
of
little bit.
course,
You get what I
they
say?
played well. France had
So,
to
yeah.
take the game serious for start. And honestly, Dembele had 3 moments where really made the game different, But Norway was in the game with them second string team. So when you add Holland to what looks like a system that the player them understand and play well, I think them going to give Ivory Coast some problems. But I also
Yeah.
believe that Ivory Coast have so much potential as a team that if them were to get everything right on a given day, I think them could have beat any damn
Any
team.
team. Any
Any,
team.
any team. So this game is one that I think is going to split the public right down the middle. Like I said earlier today, I was talking to some people and I was going through the games, and this was the most split game out of all of the games. Ivory Coast and Norway. So whoever want to go first, give me a take. What you think about this game, and just give me a winner for the game.
All right. Now we match up and bring them full 11, the first game. First game? Yeah. The first game, the full 11. I feel like say them are go do it. Them are go get the job done, especially with Holland out there. The Africans them here, them a do them thing. You know, we cannot see we are in. Them not have the firepower probably. Well, them not. I don't think them can go cross the line. Let me just cut it short. I don't think them can go cross the line. So I go carry now away. I give Holland the edge. And 2-1.
2-1.
I take that.
For me,
Next.
I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted on what Norway did. Norway literally played and give up second position. I don't respect that.
CC,
I
what
would
say?
love, I would love for Ivory Coast to win.
Grammy, you're not hearing JD when he talks.
No, I'm not hearing JD.
All right, jump out of the call and jump back because I think all of us are hearing him except you. All right, go on.
Yeah, that me I wonder.
But I agree with Grammy. I think that in Norway might just scrape it. But they damage football. They damage me psychologically, Jason. So I'm not going for because Ireland was my boat.
So you didn't like the decision of kind of
No,
conceding the third game.
I feel it's a B move, Jason. It's a B move, and I love that Ireland football and call it out. I love it.
Did you hear Haaland's interview when he said what he said about facing France in the next game? Did you hear what his comments on that?
Yes, I heard it, and I heard his coach as well. And his coach was extremely disrespectful to football. Make it worse, I want him to lose. Remember, this is a team that that Alan is my player, so I want him to do good. But I don't respect it, blood. If Alan keep on saying that he wants golden boot and this and that, even after yesterday, brother, how you can complain about Messi not letting you win a golden boot? Brother, you need to play the games. That's why you win the golden boot.
JD, you know anything about this that Moss is asking about Senegal having player problems with the FA?
Yes,
oh, yes.
Sorry,
I thought he was asking about Ivory Coast. Never mind. Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, man. Senegal always find something to blame. And the last thing they blame, Jason, is on-field play. That is the only thing I don't like about them.
It's never the football. It's always something else, right?
Yes, there's them. I blame the federation for some things that them again. Brother, everything what you're doing on the field, you could have corrected those and then blame the federation after. We need to stop these federation talking, man. Someone need to come out and play football. And Iran get everything go bad against them, Jason. I cannot say I've seen Senegal play one good game as Iran. Not one good game as Iran. Iran play even United States a fight against Iran. I'm very sorry to say that in stream this.
But everybody the pressure them play under JD. Look at the heavy pressure. Look at the heavy load.
Every game them play and them get robbed every single game. Man start invent new rule. Oh, the man was the goalkeeper because the goalkeeper was out. That was if the rule said if the goalkeeper is not in the 6-yard box, the goalkeeper foot is in the 6-yard box, and they give it as an offside. So I'm glad that Zlatan and those guys call it out and say the rules, read the damn rules. This is not what it says. So we find a way to cheat a team that is working hard and then make a next team that won only one game and look half decent.
JD, how that go about the 6-yard box? What?
They said the 6-yard, once the goalkeeper steps out and a defender is in the 6-yard, he becomes the goalkeeper.
Yeah, the defender becomes the goalkeeper.
You look at smart tactics them as a double forward, and you're ahead of your forward, you're gonna be offside, Jason. That's a rule.
So JD, that rule wasn't imply long time in a sense wherein
no.
What I'm saying, the rule what me know, right? The rule the rule I think me know was, you see, if the keeper is out time goal, right? And the defender is behind the keeper,
yes,
then that defender becomes the goalkeeper, right?
No, so but you have an area. You have an area which is
basically that's what I said. So basically, the keeper have to be out of the 6-yard box for that player to become the keeper.
You can't just scam the football for that tactics. So
me did feel like the rule say once the keeper is in front of his own player, then the next player now cannot score the goal because he would have
But
half time.
isn't the rule basically based on the last two defenders and not necessarily
No. They have to
No,
do the
no, no,
goalkeeper
no,
and
no.
the
The
player that
defender
is in a
become the
position
keeper.
become a keeper. The two of them can
Yeah, the
become the keeper.
defender become the keeper. And the keeper basically become the last man then this. So
So
basically
Graham,
they
if you
must
have
say
so
if the
much
next
problem, Graham,
opponent huh?
if you have so much problem, Graham, it takes 15 minutes, 7 minutes to make a decision.
We make a decision.
That means that Jason. So that means
You're not
so it's
certain.
not a
You're
clear
not
error.
certain
It's
about.
not a clear error.
Yeah.
That's what we are aiming for, Jason. We need to
So
follow.
them not
We
could
need
have go
to
look on it. Them not could have just pull up a rule while them a look at it in the third
yeah,
minute or
but
the fourth
that
minute
means
and they
it's
make
not
a
a clear
decision. All them
error.
have to do is just
But
go
Graham,
read back the rule. Read
yeah,
back the
but
rule
that is not
fast
a
and
clear.
quick.
But Graham, it's not a clear error. That's what VAR was for in the blood. So when a referee make a clear error, so that was so close, you can't figure it out. You understand me? So all I'm saying is, if the referee can't see Granny, that should mean the referee never made an error. He just never knew, or he can't decide. So let it stay with the call that he made. You understand me? That's
Yeah,
what it
give the
should
goal.
be.
Yeah, I think the clear and obvious error verbiage, that really stems from like calls that the ref would have made. So when
Mhm.
a goal is scored and they
Yes.
scrutinize everything, it's not necessarily that they're trying to find an error. They're just trying to find an infraction if there was one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't really, because I get what you're saying in the sense that VAR was created for errors, right? But the minute that a goal scoring thing became, every time a goal is scored, we have to look at VAR for things, then that kind of, I think that changed VAR in a way. Because you're right, VAR was originally like a man get fouled. When I think the call was right, let's look at it. Now it's become a goal score. We have to check if a man get fouled 10 minutes before it score. We have to check if a man offside in the 15th pass before the goal. It become a crazy witch hunt to try find something wrong. And it seems like when it's a team where look like them a get a fight, the VAR always take longer, right? So it kind of make it leave this gray area too much, and in a way you want VAR to eliminate gray area, and sometimes it seems like it add more to it, which is a problem.
Yeah. Yes, agree. But look up the rule, Jason, because
Yeah,
even Zlatan is
I go look
confused.
there.
He's confused because by the letter of the law, that means that man was in. It would have been inactive because the goalkeeper can reach back his position because he's half a step and he's inside the 6 yard. So it's not a clear distance the goalkeeper is between from the defender that is wide left. Why? So the goalkeeper the defender is further away from his goal than the actual goalkeeper. So you cannot, if you're going to use not in length, the actual keeper is closer to his goal because he's straight to his goal.
but JD, you know, so to me, this goalkeeper thing is
Hmm.
unfair and unrealistic because the, yeah, man, it's unfair for the attacking player, and you know why? It's because you have to place the burden of awareness on the attacking player to anticipate the goalkeeper movement. Him already anticipate the defender the movement. When the goalkeeper come to punch the ball, him fi anticipate the goalkeeper movement along with the defender movement when he try to play himself inside by using the last man. It is unfair to the player.
Yes, I agree with you, and I think it's. I don't know why. I heard Jason on what they're trying to cut out and stuff, but I just believe that it is too much now. It is too much of VAR dictating the pace of these games. But at the end of the day, I like the World Cup, and I just want.
World Cup nice, yeah.
I want an underdog team, Grammy, win because some underdog team win a fight for win, and Iran was one of those teams.
Iran played
Iran
there. Yeah,
they're
man.
so good. They're fighting to win the games.
JD, they
Qatar,
played
they're
some of
not
the
fighting
best.
to win no game. They're fighting to stay into games. But
They
because they
played
have
some
a
of
love here with them, it's easier to support them in decisions. That's all I'm saying.
I can't tell anybody this. Iran played some of the best football I've seen in the World Cup. Like I'm literally watching Iran play and I'm saying, yo, Jamaica, you see, we have no excuse. Sorry to bring up them again, but we have no excuse. No excuse is there to not play good football. Iran played some football, even with Iran having to travel 24 hours on the day of the game and travel back after the game and all the restrictions. And Iran went out there and played football. Like them little, and I think even the last time I saw Iran play when they had played against Argentina in the World Cup, and to see Iran playing now, it's a far better team than they were before. So it's like almost everybody's improving, and I think you're right. Like that's why I would say, is it to me, if it is not as clear cut, stay with the call on the field and call it a goal. We used to do that in football where we say the advantage goes to the attacking player based on the scenario of the player, and you're unable to. It's more likely it is 90-10 then. So you give the attacker, just like how you give the goalkeeper the privilege.
Yep. Somebody forget it. Well, look, we're gonna move on. I think no, CC, did you give me the winner for the Norway game?
All right, so for the Norway game, as JD was saying, Norway insulted football. I don't think you would have heard and coming out in a Champions League press conference and say, "Oh, Real Madrid is going to win, so we don't need to necessarily go out there and do this." I don't think he would have done that. And for him to come and say this, and they change 10 players, like to change 10 players is not the big deal, you know. But for you to come out and say these things before the game has been played, it taints the integrity of the football. And the reason why a lot of things were done in the game is from them time with Austria, and them play out this nil draw with West Germany, is for FIFA to get away from these type of things or these type of accusations and allegations. And now we're through the game in a disrepute by what they said and then went out there to proceed and do. So in that scenario, I cannot, in all good conscience, sit here and pick Norway to win, even though I think they are likely to beat Ivory Coast. So I'm going with Ivory Coast on the basis of football have to win, and Norway them have to learn them lesson.
Feelings.
So I pick Ivory Coast for win. All right. Well, I am also picking Ivory Coast to win. I think Ivory Coast come from behind actually and win this game. Yeah, I just think Ivory Coast have enough in their attack to create chances late in the game. I think Norway, even though they have freshened up their team and everything, I think Ivory Coast will still have the energy needed late in the game, and I don't really trust Norway's defenders to keep out Ivory Coast after the wave that I think they reach them towards the end, and I think that's why they get over the line with a 3-2. Going to be another great game. I'm hoping for a whole heap of scoring in these games. So if you guys gamble responsibly, total goals over in a lot of the games. Remember me telling you. All right, next game, France and Sweden. I will go first this time. So France, obviously, I think they are the favorites for me in the tournament. I think France have the deepest attack in the World Cup. I think their midfielders, while are not exceptional, I believe they have good combinations between them. So like Rabiot and Chouameni complement each other well. Kone and Chouameni, Kone and Rabiot, they all have good complement with each other. I thought the coach was going to try to find a way to put Kante in the mix, but we haven't seen that yet. We never even see it in the last game when them could have changed out some things. So I think the Shams kind of like what him like, and I'm going to stick with them. And I don't think Sweden defense is going to be able to hold up to what's going to happen to them. I think Sweden will cause them problems with Isak and Gyökeres and Nygren, but I don't think it will be sustained enough. Elanga looks to be in some good form as well, so he could cause some problems. And I think that if France have a weakness, I've said this before, I think that the left back is not the strongest defensively. I don't think Theo Hernandez is going to hold up against some of the better attacking teams, but I also don't think that France is going to score less than most teams, Sweden being one of them too. So I think France put up 4 goals. I think Sweden put up a few, and it's another high-scoring game, 4-2 to France, and then move on.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jason. I think it's going to go similar way. I think Sweden need to leave. The Sweden strikers need to leave something on the pitch in this game. You know, you're not going to win because the French team have a team on the bench, and have a team on the reserve as well. So the depth of the French team is insane. But just give something. You guys are good strikers, good wingers. Just give something. Just go out there and fight. You know you're gonna lose, or everybody pick it to lose. Just go out there and fight. And you lose 5-2, 5-3, but at least you know you left it well out there, at least in the striker department, and then you try to go back to your drawing board and see how you can sort out things defensively. But I don't want to see them sit low block KG and then still lose 5-0.
Mm-hmm. Now I think they'll keep their two attackers up, and I think the key is gonna be finding a way to unlock Elanga on that right hand side. I'm telling you, that's where them can have joy. But I just think France is gonna be too much for them in the end. Wait, what say you, Grammy and CC?
Yeah, man. All right. So, yeah. So for me, I think Sweden attacking wise they're right up there, but in terms of the balance of the squad, I don't necessarily they don't have that balance that you kind of require in these phases in terms of going for the knockout rounds. And I just think France will have a little bit more than Sweden in this sense. I think the game is 3-1. I'm in favor of the French. Possibility is the reason why I'm going 3-1 is that you see MBAPPE and Dembele both are on 4 goals, and I think both want the golden boot. And at some point in the game, they're going to get into each other's way in terms of scoring that additional goal. So I just think it's going to come down to France is going to beat Sweden, but it is the score that we expect is not necessarily going to be the score that we get. Based on the attacking players who are actually looking have in the back of their head their own individual
Absolutely.
award thinking about as well. So I see 3-1. I don't see a game where Sweden fails to score based on the fact them they have the likes of Ilanga, Isak, and Gyökeres. So I give them respect enough to score. But I think France have the more balanced squad of the two.
Yeah, man. France have the most balanced squad. Them have lethal players, the midfield, strikers, wingers, everybody. Hot, fire. You understand? So if you beat France, basically to me, you have to outscore them. And Sweden is not a team where I go outscore France. Them can score a 1 goal, them can score a 2 goal, yes. But them can't stop France from scoring or outscore them. So France, even though more and lose from early and drop out, so it part easier for me. And Spain, you understand? But France, I go, being logical, France, I go. Yeah, man, France, I go take it. Mbappe, Olise, Dembele, the whole works. Them, I go, them gone with it. That's my
All right.
take.
Cool. Moving on. The next game, Mexico did their job, won their group. So that means they get to play in the famed Azteca on a Tuesday evening. Does Ecuador understand what is about to happen in that stadium tonight? I'm not sure. I think they should have an idea because they play in CONMEBOL. If you go to Argentina, you go to Brazil, you go to Uruguay, you go to all these places and play, it's going to be very similar to that atmosphere. But Mexico is a little bit different. JD, what do you think about this matchup on Tuesday night?
You know that I'm the black Mexican. I'm highly. I love Mexico's football. I think that they're the pride for Concacaf. People keep on disrespecting them. Ecuador is a good team. I think that Mexico have a 50-50 chance in this game. This is not just Ecuador winning this game. Mexico have always delivered in the World Cup more than even the big teams in the World Cup. Mexico is one of the most consistent teams in the World Cup, and I think that they want to stay in this one, and they actually stay in this one. I think Mexico take it. from Ecuador. Technical ability, I still like it from Mexico. Their energy and obviously their altitude that they're gonna have the advantage in. But as I said, they're from CONMEBOL and they do play Bolivia and those teams, so they kind of used to the altitude. But I think that Mexico is better than Bolivia. You understand me? And they are going to be playing in their altitude, so it's a little bit different. And I think that will be the separation. So I'm going with a 2-1, 2-1 Mexico over Ecuador.
All right. CC, what you have to say about this one?
Mexico all the way, because from the beginning, pre the tournament, I had announced to everybody that I have Mexico as my dark horse, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mexico wins the World Cup. People laugh at the scar, people
Lord
laugh at
God.
the scar, and I think
What?
people never. No, I said it from before, man. Mexico is my dark horse. I have them getting to at least the quarterfinal, and from there, I think an upset or two can give them the World Cup. So if I go to the quarterfinal, which I project them to go, then from there it's just two upset them need to create, and that's the World Cup. So for me though, I watch Mexico pre-World Cup, the warm-up World Cup games, and I thought they did what they needed to do. I think they were figuring some things out. They had a couple of goals, and you kind of see what they wanted to do in terms of their build-up play, in terms of looking at their adjustments in terms of defense, midfield going forward. And I think they played that out well in this World Cup. The first time them win all three group games, they have not conceded any goals so far. So as I said before, they saw where they needed adjustments. They saw what they needed to do to stay at the Azteca. They achieved that goal. And I think at this point in time, coming up against an Ecuadorian team that is a lot physical, I think playing at altitude, I don't know if they can get that physical with Mexico, because it would, in terms of, it would sap your energy. So I have Mexico going through again in this game. As a matter of fact, even though Ecuador score, they're not score. I don't think they break the clean sheet record from Mexico as yet. So Mexico 2-0.
Mexico 2-0. All
So
right.
JD, I one of them I laugh after me to say
No,
Mexico
no,
can
no,
win
no.
the
I'm
World
not.
Cup.
Yeah,
No,
you
no.
know,
I
yeah.
really,
Yes, you know already.
I
Yeah, me
really.
You know
and
me already.
Grammy going with Mexico. Where's the
Yeah, you
JD?
know, yeah, you
No,
know me already.
I'm telling CC that I'm not laughing at him. I just said I rate Mexico highly, and I know that their quarterfinals record might still be up in the air, but I think that they're going to achieve it again. But to say that they're going to be the real World Cup or the dark horse, I'm not going to go that far. That's all, CC. I'm not going so far, but I would agree with you. Any team that from our region should do the best, I think it's Mexico. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. I think the problem Mexico is going to find themselves in is they're gonna play possibly Brazil in the quarterfinals. I think that's where the issue. They're on a collision course to play Brazil. But the Mexicans have beaten Brazil several times already in major tournaments as well, even in CONCACAF Gold Cup finals. And that's when Brazil had won the world champ. I mean, it's different eras and different teams, but I think the Mexicans, they know that they can play against the Brazilians. They know they can play against the South Americans. So I think I'll give them the edge in this Ecuadorian, as I said before. Flash.
All right. So I know Grammy going Mexico. Look, I think that if there's one thing I know about this Ecuador team, they gave up some goals in the group stage. They gave up barely any in the CONMEBOL thing. I think they're gonna go to this game and it's gonna be one of those. It's not going to be boring, but I think I will enjoy it because I like tactics and how different games and things turn out. So I will enjoy any football game. But the casual fan, I don't think they're going to love this game because I think Ecuador are going to muck up the game. They're going to foul. They're going to make it annoying, right? And I think Mexico is going to knock on the door and eventually get a goal. But I see it being a real close game. And it's one of the few
Yeah,
ones in
but
my
right there's a to go now. When I cut
eh?
you right there's a no me I say right there's a if Ecuador feel like so them go can play the game there. No, and the Mexicans them them love the same game that they like a rough game that they like a push down and kick down and something that them like it. So
I think
knowing
what the
say
midfielder
them a
them
play
again.
at home have the home advantage. You know, in the Aztec already, as what them say, below sea level, whatever, or above sea level. So it's like me know how to use get my home advantage against you. So if me I got you have to go run me down for push me down and kick me down. So you got tired before me. You understand what I say? And me know say if you do that for annoy me, me can do the same thing for annoy you too. You get me I say and it a go work for me more than how it a go work for you. With my fans, them a make nice years again too. You know how it go. You
No
know?
feel
So
no
you,
feel no
so,
way, no feel no way, no. I
so you
mean,
know, so you know
it's obviously
Mexico
going to
all the
be
way, you know?
it's obviously going to be a pro-Mexican crowd, but one thing we know about Ecuador fans, they're going to find a way to have a big pocket of yellow in the stadium there too, because them man they travel and them support crazy. But I still think Mexico get over the line. I just think it's going to be really tight and close, and I think
Yeah.
Mexico find a goal in the game, but that's probably going to be all them going to need because I think Mexico people, I don't think people have given them enough credit for how well they have defended as a team. I don't think they have given up like many big chances against them or anything like that. Yes, people will say, boy, them was in a group where them supposed to dominate, but at the end of the day, we have seen other teams in other groups play teams that supposedly inferior to them and them struggle. The other team get chances to score. You know, we saw England against Ghana. Ghana could have win that game, probably should have win that game. So you have to give Mexico credit for beating what's in front of them, and I think they have done a good job of limiting the other team from doing anything. And I don't see Ecuador being able to be the first team in this tournament to really open up Mexico. So that's why I don't think they'll score, but I still think Ecuador defense will keep them at bay for long, but them find the goal to win 1-0. So I think Mexico advance in them home stadium and then we'll get another game in them home stadium in the next round too. All right. Then moving on to Wednesday, the early game that day, England versus the Democratic Republic of Congo. So as Jamaican fans and Jamaicans in general, we have a link to both of these teams in some way. Obviously, England is where we get a lot of the players we recruit from. And of course, Congo is the team that knock us out of getting into this World Cup that's playing right now. So, Grimy, I'll go to you first, bro. Do you think that Congo learned enough from the Ghana blueprint to cause England some problems in this one?
I think Congo is better than Ghana. And so they don't have to learn the blueprint. They are the perfection of the blueprint because they actually have the breaking forwards, and England have a eye line problem. They have no speed in behind, none whatsoever. And I think Congo is blessed with speed and the accuracy as well. I don't think England win this game flat out. I think it has to come with the fourth referee decision because every game England gets a decision by the ref to actually get the advantage in the game, including the Panama game. I think you should have given the Panama game a little bit more respect, Jason. I think Panama played them well, and with the calls that they should have gotten, Panama could have been ahead of England in the same game, and that would have caused all sorts of problems because that would have given Panama the opportunity to sit back. And Panama sitting back, I think, they beat England and they. So England have not shown any level of superiority for me in this entire tournament. The first game, you saw that they tried their best to force to give England the game. I thought that even the penalty, I was not sure about the penalty against Croatia, and then they give him a retake as well after he missed the penalty. So I'm not so sold on the England team. So I think that this Congo team will put them under pressure.
You
So
know,
I think I see maybe this will be the first upset. Sad to say, people, this will be the first upset.
So JD, you mentioned the robbery of Ghana, the blatant robbery.
No. I built a video separate for that, so I never thought I needed to speak on it. But that's why I said the three robbery that takes place for England. So it's a fourth robbery coming.
Listen.
Yeah.
I say and the same thing you mentioned about European football, JD. That is the reason why people have England up there. Remember, I'm just going, you don't know, so I said this already. I said England at the World Cup is overrated. And other people just jump up with England because they watch a lot of English Premier League. And for the most part, most of these people only watch English Premier League. A majority of these players plays in English Premier League. Therefore, they're of the opinion that they should win the World Cup. Of the top 5 nations of the top 5 leagues, the only one that has not won a major trophy in the last 30 years is England. France has won, Spain has won, Germany has won, Italy has won. And Italy is not even at the World Cup. Italy didn't even qualify to the World Cup and beat England in the Euros. England has not shown me anything impressive enough for me to get up and say they are going to win this World Cup. I should be able, like how I could speak at Mexico. I couldn't speak as confident on England's chances. And it's not like England doesn't have good players. The problem I think England has and suffers from as well is that little bit of creativity that when they facing a team that is resolute in the low block and discipline in terms of defense, they're unable to break that team down. As I think if you look at Panama's game, Panama created enough openings. If they were a better team, they would have finished against England, especially if there was a cross that the Panama attacker went for, which technically was kind of a
Oh,
flick.
and he missed it. Yeah, that was a big chance. And they just keep it on the next side. Yeah, CC, I saw it. Yeah, man. Panama had some good openings. Agree.
So at Panama basically at finishing on the day, that game that England played against Panama could have been very much different. And I think when I look at the way in which Congo played their games, and each game they got better, especially offensively. I think England is in for a rude awakening because if they allow Congo to create those opportunities, and especially from the wide areas, then I think just like JD, England is going to get an upset, and I'm going with their Congo. So after people, the people again and the matter.
And
Yeah.
then to add to what CC say, you know,
Their Congo 2-1, 2-1.
yeah,
2-1.
then to add what CC say, me not think, me feel like say, Congo, them are come out, come play one striker tomorrow. Pack the midfield. If them get the chance
Yeah.
and score, you understand? If them get the chance and score, kudos. But England basically have to play as a team tomorrow for win. Them the individuality, and if Congo, the way how me feel like Congo go come out, I go frustrate them. You get what I say? So them are go try to do it off of them name. Looking on paper, as well, CC said them can't win World Cup. Me have England can't win World Cup either. You understand what I say? Not because of Spain on my side. But me not have England as no threat. You understand what I say? But on paper, them can't win the World Cup on paper because them have big names to play all over. You understand what I say? All over the world, in the top 4 league, or even top 3 league then. You understand what I say? So them have to play as a team basically for win. But if
Jason,
Congo
I
come
wonder
out
what.
and do the right thing tomorrow, them can probably get a 1-0 victory.
Jason, I wonder why we are saying that about England. Him soon get England fever. I'm here for around 20 odd
No,
years. I
it's
want
not. Me
England.
not, me not dislike England, you know. Don't get me wrong, you know. Me not dislike England or
No,
nothing, you
no,
know. But
no.
me just feel
No,
like
Grammy,
say,
it's not. Grammy, me not dislike them either. It's just sometimes we know that they underperform and they are underperforming now.
yeah,
And Demo can't look at what we're
yeah,
saying.
but that's so from me can, as far as me can remember, right? Me not see England play better than how them a play now.
Yeah, but no, that's the
As
problem. But they never
like,
do nothing. But they never do
eh?
nothing for.
That's why me I say. That's why me I say me not see them play no different. When me
But
hear about England from me, I watch them. Me just know say
But
okay.
Dima Bunny out,
This
Dima
I
Bunny
saw them a
out,
go play.
Dima Bunny out, and Jason, I go drop Jason. I can go with England, yeah, but Jason, you see, if the shocker come, don't come over the
No,
side,
that's
yeah,
why me I say no. No,
but
that's why me say no. That's why me say it. Yeah, yeah, me say it. England have to play
yeah.
as a team for
So
win.
Mm.
Grammy, you think they'll be able to pull that off? You think they'll play as a team?
If they can play as a team, they will win. But sometimes remember you have egoistic players who feel like say me are the man and me can, you understand, just like what you
Mm-hmm.
when you see me ask you or even suggest when a man I say Declan Rice world class. There
Mm-hmm.
is no weird the word that you cannot use the word there with certain player, brother. You understand what I say?
Mm-hmm.
Can't
Okay.
use the word there with certain player because they are not. They're okay, they're good players, they're perfect players, they're excellent players. But you cannot use, you see me? Can't.
I
So
agree
if
the World
Congo
Cup
come out,
thing
if
gets thrown
Congo come
around too
out, as when I
much.
say Congo come out, I'm probably play five
Lamar
back
hopeful.
and play one striker, which in is Wissa, and do something. I feel like say them can probably get a chance. You understand? Or even if bring the game in a penalty shootout and
Yeah.
probably seal the victory. You understand what I say?
Yeah, but Garmy, that's my problem. I just believe that the reason why I'm saying this, let me clear up my points, Jason, before you go. The reason why I'm saying it, it just looks like if they go behind and you have a team like Congo, I don't think they can come back. They don't look like they're mentally strong, Jason. That is my problem. They always have to get something to go their way. Their head start to look drop. Their head start to drop. I saw Rashford just look
Half the players
frustrated.
that team. All right, look at it. Even the Croatia match. Why them win the Croatia match is because them players are team. Anyhow, they need something the players individual problem. Anyhow, they need to talk say, yo, me are the man, me feel like I could do it. I me can do it. They not lose. Me I tell you. So them have to come out with the same momentum of them come out against Croatia with for win the game tomorrow. Because me know say a one striker. We saw alone the man them a start with tomorrow out there. If them not pack the midfield, them pack the
Yeah, but
defense. Just
They
watch.
they don't need more than one striker. They need only one striker because they need the wingers to run in behind. Remember that is England's problem, the in behind running, which is
Let
the
me tell
wide
you,
area that's why Familia looks so strong.
and Jason Gooner ball. Jason Gooner, can you imagine looking at a bench and I see Madueke come off and Madueke if come on? Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I look at that every week when I watch Arsenal. But
But anyway, that's not the ball.
I'm going to be honest with you, right? I actually feel like, to Grammy's point, because I agree with what Grammy was saying about if England play more as a team, they might actually do better. The reason why I said that, you remember in the first game when England played Croatia,
Mm-hmm.
because that game seemed like it was even last World Cup, because people don't really talk about it anymore. Everybody talk about the games after that. But the
Yes, we're
first,
not talking about it. We just tell you what we know, yeah. But yeah, go ahead, big boss.
no, I mean, like, all right, so we are on this panel, but I'm saying, like, how England has been talked about at this World Cup, nobody really references the first game. Everybody just speaks in terms of the Ghana game and the game that they just played, that they Panama game, right? But in the Croatia game, one thing I noticed, when they went down the two times, as to Grammy's point, as players a team, you say you're making fun of Madueke, but one thing I think Madueke and even Garden give them that maybe Rashford and Saka don't give them is that lack of ego, right? I don't think Madueke is thinking I need to score goals. Madueke just want to make sure him don't make a fool of himself. Garden is kind of like on the come up, him getting big move to Barcelona, but I don't really see him as a guy that's trying to like do more than he needs to try and do. In fact, I think God needs to try to do more when he plays. I think he's playing too within himself, like he don't want to make a mistake. But the point I'm making is Tuchel might be better off, leaving Saka and Rashford to bring on and starting the players them that everybody accustomed. Because in the first game, to me, they created the most opportunities out of
Okay.
all the time. And what happened in that game as well, if you remember, when Saka and Rashford came on, when the other team was kind of defending for a little while and a little more tired, them man, they was looking like world beaters when they came on. So if I was him, I might go back to that strategy of team ball first half when Congo is very organized, and then second half I bring on the quote-unquote killer them with the egos and the match winners are, so to speak. I would try to do that if I was him and see
But
if
that's the
that works.
problem. The problem is they cannot bench
But
Rashford and Saka again.
Jason, so why deem a great idiot? You know, just see Portugal play against Congo. Congo didn't look like they could have won the game, Jason, and should have won the game.
Of course they could have won that
So
game.
why you might make it seem like we're stupid and we're
Nah,
disrespectful?
man. Remember, say JD, you have to remember too, everybody have them opinion too. So it's like a film
No,
opinion that, and you're
yeah, but
gonna have people. Hold on, JD. Hold on, no. But you're gonna have people again to vex from the handball situation.
okay.
You
But
understand what I
Congo is a
say?
better
Ah,
team. But
a
Congo is a
handball. Why we not the
better
World Cup? I
yeah,
wish it in
but
their space.
Grimy,
So
that's a
them
lie.
agree.
Congo was better than Jamaica. Congo was better than Jamaica right
Yeah,
throughout the
but
game.
yeah,
So we
no,
need
but
to
listen
talk.
up, them listen up. We know say them better. Them know say them did it better, you know. But where them a look pan is like in the last minute we hold out as much for them use that. So even if them see the team a play so good and I go through the stages, oh, I idiot side, handsball side that. Them a go
Oh
hate the
my
side
God.
because
Okay.
them stop we from going to the World Cup.
Okay,
Listen,
I got you
Because
now.
them are gonna have it. Them no know. Remember, if we got penalty shootout, where we gonna win? We
Up
sure are
full
we gonna?
things.
We sure we gonna win?
you
No,
said this already.
we have a better chance to win
We
the game
have
in
to
a
kick
penalty.
them
Yeah.
first. We have to kick
If
them
it,
first, and
see,
Jamaica
JD,
have
I
to
don't know
save
if you're
them
using
first.
like an earpiece device or something, but it's getting very low.
Oh, sorry. Let me come. All right, then, no
we,
problem.
we can say this. If England are the one at one of those tournaments that they made the final of, I think the conversation surrounding
See,
England could
before
have
you
been
go
a little
further,
bit different.
before you go
Yeah.
further, hold on there. 9 out of 10 African team make it through the round of 32. What does that signify and tell you? It have to say something. The man them football halfy a grow or halfy the and par. And when you check it out, the matchups them what them get. Probably out of the 9 we go through round of 32, probably 5 gone around of 16. You understand? Depends on the matchup what them have. So when you look at it, brother, African side can reach in the quarter final and one reach in the semi final if you look at it, based upon the matchup where them are getting and reach round of 16 and how much reach round of 16. And them can get them can even sometimes face each other in you know the way them a play. But let's see, cause the World Cup of only for surprises. We not gonna expect say the team them just a go walk through the top 8 a go walk through, the top 4 a go walk through, and the top, you understand? We not gonna expect that
Yeah, you
surprises.
have to
Then
look. If you've watched any World Cup before, you have to try to find some games where
some
the
game,
quote
yep.
unquote underdog win. You know,
Yep, I
um,
even go far. Look at Croatia. Remember
yeah,
Croatia?
yeah. I
You
don't think many
understand?
would have had them far in their
Have them
prediction
figure so
for that World
far.
Cup. Yeah,
You
exactly.
understand?
Um,
Yep. Ghana, the
yeah.
performance
So
from
look,
Ghana, the
at the end
performance
of
from
the day,
Ivory Coast, the performance from Senegal in the past World Cup. You understand? People never did expect those performances. So probably we can look on the underdog this World Cup figure far. Probably Mexico, we don't know. At home,
maybe,
advantage. And when you look
maybe.
at it, three of the host nations are through to the round of 32. They
Mm.
have teams that they can beat also to go through to the round of 16.
Well, and one of them did that today. So there you go.
And one did okay. So one is already secure their spot. So Mexico and USA, and we have USA for the win. So we can say, okay, USA liably I got there around a 16 as well. So Mexico have to do the job, and then you can see some little those are underdogs as well. Those are dark horse teams as well. Going to round of 16 quarterfinals. You understand? So let's see.
Yeah. So for me, right? Look, I do see a universe where Congo could get a result. I just feel like with how the group stage went for England, I think that they turn up in this game and play probably one of the better, well, probably the best game they play so far, and they win the game 3-1. I think for stretches though, it will be like worry and nil all for a while, but I think eventually they get a goal and that open the game up and they go on to win the game 3-1. I don't think this England defense will keep a clean sheet for the rest of the World Cup. So in all of my predictions, if England is in it, I will always give the other team a goal. I think you know Kansa is he's good, but he's not good at the same time. It's crazy. Like he's good, but he's not good. I don't know how that's possible, but some kind of way he's good and not good at the same time. Gehi, I have a little more faith in, but even him, it looked like him have a thing in him might make a
Slip
mistake
up
here
more
and
while.
there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Some slip
so
up
it's
more
like I
while.
don't trust all of the
Enough time him
defenders
slip
so
up.
much.
Enough.
I love Nico Riley as a footballer, but as an
Yeah.
actual defender, I mean, he's good, but again, so they have their deficiencies, but I think they have enough game changers. If you look at even the Panama game, it's really two Jude Bellingham moments why they win the game. Jude Bellingham basically earned the corner
with a step over thing. Well, actually, the first goal is him chop the man to pieces from the wing and cross it into Kane and him score. And the second time, him shift a man on the wing, get a corner, then Saka square it and him score from the corner. So it was literally 2 moments gave them the win. And I feel like England have good enough moment players in attack. Kane, Bellingham, Rashford in his moment. All these players can give you these moments. Even a Morgan Rogers or Eze can give you these moments. So I think they have enough of those players where they'll get over the line in some of these games. And I think this is one of them that happens. So they get over the line, a couple of moments of brilliance. And yeah, still probably leaving this game saying, boy, I don't know if England can go far in the tournament, but they probably will still get through. So I'll say 3-1 to England on Wednesday when they play this game. All right, JD had to run off. Big up.
Man, so 1-0, me say if Congo win 1-0.
So yeah, go with Congo.
Yeah, man. But that's why I say if England play as a team, they will win the game, But
you don't believe them are gonna play as a
team? Me not believe them are gonna. You understand me? I say me believe.
All right.
Yeah, me not believe them are gonna.
Well, that is it. 4 of us on the panel at the time of doing this, and I'm kind of surprised that 3 of us go with Congo and only me go with England, but maybe I am the one that's not seeing something here.
Oh man, if you no, I not say you not see it, As what I say, you can't. All right, probably the first 20 minutes, I probably can change my mind because England are players. I go see them are players a team. So then me I go say, oh, guy, me say them players a team, they win, See them are players a team, there. You see them score a 2 goal or 1 goal. You understand me I say? But if them don't come out and play the way they, Congo go knock them on 1-0.
All right. So we have 3 for Congo. I say England. You guys make sure if you're watching on the replay, drop the team where you think going to go through. I will document them and let you know who had the best picks. All right. Moving on, Belgium, Senegal. This is another one that I think was a divisive one. Some going with the African nation, some going with Belgium.
Mama Africa.
What do you think about this one here, Grimy?
Yeah, man, Mama Africa, man. I got Mama Africa. I don't see Belgium playing. I see Belgium has struggled so far. You understand? Not even because them win in the last game 5-1. You understand? I see them as struggle. De Bruyne himself, like, he must struggle like him, We know say him is not the De Bruyne, You understand what I say? But me see him must struggle. Doku, even though him going forward back, is this Doku where we know, but I feel like say Mama Africa go take them, man. Mama Africa go beat them.
Mama Africa.
Yeah, man. Mama Africa knock them.
All right, Mama Africa.
I remember again, so that would be 2-sided. 2 Mama Africa already gone through if them can get the job done against Norway.
All right, we have to know CC.
Repeat the part of the action with the score.
No, I know the score, the Senegal and Belgium.
Come on, just Belgium, Senegal, what you say?
We're take on it.
Listen, I'm not count out though. I think Doku has matured into that player where Belgium doesn't miss Eden Hazard as much. I think Kevin De Bruyne still has somewhat of his passing range and his ability not gonna let him because his IQ is top notch. I just think they're gonna be a little bit too much against the Senegalese. I don't see. First of all, Koulibaly, I don't know where them pick him up from. He shouldn't even be on the pitch. Shouldn't even be on the plane. So I can clearly see where this Belgium team beats Senegal.
Belgium in Senegal, right? And Grammy, you said Mama Africa. All right. Let's see. 2-1 England. Okay. Portugal win. So man, them gone everywhere. So I get them here down. Belgium, USA, Spain, of course, and Portugal barely. They say scrape through.
Okay, so Demon is a Spain man. Alright, I say I heard Demon. I'm Spain.
Demo have him jersey up, man. USA.
Feel like we can play with all. You know, give man the minutes in this to see me and prepare for the Croatia day. You know, which in I'll reach on that still. I'm gonna take
Yeah, man, let's go reset some, man. They were definitely gonna get there very shortly. All right. Easy Spain victory, say mass. My paper get fully afraid. All right. All right. So Belgium, Senegal. All right. For me, boy, man, I tell you, God honest truth, brother. This game, I've been back and forth with this game, bro. Senegal have all these issues in the camp, but you know, sometimes these things have a way to either derail or galvanize. And based on the performance I saw in the last game, when they need a bag of goals to get them goal difference right and them do it, I think they're gonna kick on from that. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be some goals in it, like all the rest of the games so far that I've been picking. So I'm gonna go with my favorite scoreline. 3-2 to Senegal. Another really good game.
Yeah, man. Sadio Mane and Jackson are gonna give them pressure up there. Problem.
Senegal to score first. And my boy there. Coach finally like a buster youth here to start. I'm gonna score.
And
Yes, sir. All right. So moving on now, me start off that one here. So this is Wednesday night, July the 1st. I believe this game is in Seattle. It's gonna be USA
Boundaries.
playing Bosnia and Herzegovina. So USA start out the tournament on fire. Paraguay, good performance in the second game as well, against what them name Australia. And then Turkey met 9 change, them lose the game. I think it was the right decision by the coach because Pulisic come off an injury. I don't think anybody in the starting lineup need to prove nothing at this point. Them really play two of the best games in the World Cup so far in terms of, you know, teams that were on 6 points. Like people were literally legit talking about them like, yo, they can even do something, you never know. Right? I think people kind of see some other teams play France and, you know, maybe that has calmed down a bit, which is probably the smartest thing. But at the end of the day, I think USA will have enough to get over Bosnia. Bosnia is on a 9 team though. I'm going to stick around. Them going to play smart. They're not going to really give away too much things. But I think USA have enough quality. I think they have enough confidence right now as well. And I think the home advantage does make a difference. It's going to make a difference. So may I go USA to get by, but I think Bosnia make it closer than the fans want it. So I'm going to say 2-1 USA to win the game.
Yeah, man. I have USA for win and home side, you know, the Sounders. Yeah, me have them for seeing how them play and how Bosnia play. Bosnia come play like how them play same way, them are gonna lose, America go win, USA go win. So yeah, me have USA for topple them.
USA for topple them. CC USA.
CC gone. Sleep.
CC knockout. All right, I'll mute him before him start snore.
Yeah.
Let's move on now. Grammy, I'm not gonna take the floor first, you know. Your side, Spain taking
Yeah, I mean, a simple thing. Even if we play like how we play in the second and third game, we're supposed to, you know, walk out with the victory easy. But around at 32, we need to start fire. We not look like we not look like how we not look like a Spain. We have players when are fit, players we just are getting minutes and them thing there. But yeah, Spain I walk with it, man. Easy
Spain
victory.
walking
Yeah,
away
man.
with it.
Yeah, man. Easy victory.
All right. Well, look. I think Austria have a decent
Probably
little
a three
system.
one victory. Or
3-1. All right.
mm-hmm.
3-1, 3-1. That sound about right. I think Austria have a decent little system. You know, the game against Algeria, them create a nice amount of chances and stuff. The one thing that kind of worry me for them is when they played Argentina, which was, you know, the best team that them faced so far. A lot of those opportunities really dry up. You don't see the same type of ability to carve open chances against the better team. And I think they're gonna suffer the same thing when they play Spain, where some of those opportunities they were able to create against the Algerias of the world, the Jordans of the world, you're not gonna see that against Spain. So um, even though Spain isn't firing at its like optimum based on the injuries and some of the pieces not at 100, I still feel like they still control the game enough to where Australia just won't create enough to hurt them. Um, I could see them keeping a clean sheet, but I'm not really certain. Only because you know Australia have some big brother and them have some good delivery upon set piece. So maybe them, you know, them score upon a little one set piece or something like that, or like a second ball type of thing where them score. So I'll give them a one goal, but I think Spain will be too much for them. So I'm gonna say 3-1. Um, and I think Spain, you know, comfortable too. I think Spain probably up like 2-love
Yeah,
or
man.
something like that. Maybe even 3-love and them get a cancellation or something. So 3-1 to Spain. You know, I think this is a really good matchup for them in this round because I do think Spain kind of need to still play
Yeah, it's about
themselves
a
into some
score.
kind of,
Definitely.
you know, they need to play themselves into something. So maybe this game give them a good opportunity for that. So like I said,
Oh
ours
yeah, it's about yeah, man. Oh
will
yeah,
score
it's
the
about
first goal.
oh
Let me
yeah,
say.
man.
All right. So Spain, I think most people I don't believe, even though maybe Spain not shooting at 100, I don't believe anybody going to really not pick them in this game. And I think for good reason. I think Spain handle Austria and deal with them the right and proper way. So Spain it is from me as well. So must have throw everything. So Spain with them, the Spain. All right, they had that cool.
Master says Spain 2-0.
Mm-hmm. Not Pukisic. Just throw him like Trump, you vex, man. A
Oh,
football
Kusic.
media, you know, when I been see them someday.
Yeah, and
Egypt
something
barely
there for
late
yeah.
2-1 win. Wow, so you're going with the Egyptians, the Pharaohs.
Yeah, man, I think them have nothing for tackle. I think them have them for Egypt have they enough firepower for tackle Australia with them defense. How me see them defend.
Yeah. All right, so from Spain over to a lot of people intrigued by this team. Them come up before already in the show. If Ronaldo holding them back or anything like that. So the penalty that they got for not tying the group with Colombia is a second round, a round of 32 matchup with Croatia. And Croatia, you know, is an aging team. We know this, but they're also an experienced team and they're
Yep.
a battle-tested team. So, Grammy, do you think that the experience that them go through with this team over the years is enough to beat a star-studded Portugal team?
Yeah, man. Them have the experience for win, but as me say, even for bring back the England thing, them have to play as a team for beat the Portugal side.
Mm-hmm.
Portugal side fresh, they don't know. My boy they from Manu, Bruno, you know, him, the assist, leading assist. So it's like Them have the player them fresher, as you say. The Croatian team aging. Them have the experience. They did it before. You understand what I say? Wherein them go straight to final. So it's like more that more want Croatia for beat Portugal, but anybody. It's a anybody game, but more want Croatia for beat Portugal.
So you're going with Croatia?
Yeah, man, more want Croatia for beat Portugal.
All right. All right. So look, I like Croatia a lot. I think Croatia is a team where, you know, it's almost like a throwback team, Grammy, because Croatia is a team, you know, you see anywhere from 35 yards and close, if them have a lane for shoot,
Them have a kick, we know that.
them a crack a shot, and it's probably on target.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the things that Croatia do, I really enjoy. But I honestly feel like Grammy is just one too many times them go to the well with some of them people. And I think even though the whole Ronaldo situation going on, Portugal have enough talent even around him to where even if him don't play like the best for them system or anything like that, him still can get a result on a day like this. But I'll tell you this though, I can almost guarantee you that this game will go extra time. I almost guarantee you this game will go extra time. Because Portugal take a lead, Croatia go find one.
I go find one, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be one of them game there. So
and if something like Portugal not find one, Croatia still can find one where them can use, you know, them can fall in the low block and just know say, yo, me I go use my experience now and defend on them and hold them out. You understand what
I
I say?
wouldn't be surprised if this game end up like
2-1, 1-0.
Yeah, 2-2. So you said not, you know, let me do penalties or nothing. So may I say 2-2 in the game, and then Portugal winning extra time, either on penalties or in the game itself. But Portugal will get through, I think, honestly. I think Portugal will get through. I think I'm gonna score first too. I'm gonna think what him name then not score yet in the World Cup. I think I'm gonna score one. Bruno. So 2-2 me I go with, but Portugal to win in extra time or penalties. So me I go with Portugal. I was back and forth with this one, but I'm going to
Croatia 2-1 or 1-0.
Croatia 2-1 or 1-0.
Yeah.
All right. So that game should be a good one. 7 o'clock Thursday night. Looking forward to that one. So Wednesday and Thursday, I'm kind of clear out my schedule. So I go like a marathon them 2 days. I go try to do every game. So you don't know a whole heap of content for the people on the channel them day. All right. So the last game of the day, late night, our time, Switzerland, Algeria. This one is another one that I don't think is that difficult, but a lot of people were back and forth with it. Grammy, me go first on that one. So Switzerland, I think is probably one of the more underrated teams in the whole tournament. I think a couple of reasons for that. Them don't really have like anybody with a class as like the go-to superstar baller, right? They have popular players like Xhaka Popular and Mbolo, people know one thing, but none of them is really like no superstar. So I think that's one thing that kind of hit them down a notch. Another thing in this particular World Cup, I don't think people respect the group of them was in. So them top the group with Canada, Qatar, and what them name, Bosnia, right? No teams were really anybody was thinking could win the World Cup. So I think for those reasons, nobody now really what them up to. But I think this Switzerland team actually have a really good style of play and a really good system under the manager. And I think they create a good amount of chances when they play. And they have a good balance between, you know, sound defense and a decent attack. So I think this version of Switzerland is not so bad. Them kind of pretty balanced. Them have some experience around the back with some newer faces. Same in midfield. Xhaka have some younger players around him, can do some legwork.
And these young players.
Finding players, you know, this Manzabi kid looking good. Had a brace the other day off the bench. People were vexed. Xhaka took with the penalty from the man, but hey, I saw it go.
Yep.
But
General.
and I think Algeria, the last game, I think the coach finds something with the players that him use. But I just worry that the way how him play against that team in the last game, if him do that against Switzerland, him really ever did. So me, I gotta say, because I think Algeria's best players are more attacking players. If him decide to play all him best players, I think Switzerland are gonna kill them because I'm not gonna have enough defensively. So I think it's up to the coach. The coach is also an old manager of Switzerland who coached them in the World Cup, and he's from Switzerland. So me sure no say this year man kind of
Homegrown.
torn about this game in anyway. I mean I like that style of Grammy. If me come from a place, right? I mean I coach a next team. I mean I play against my country. I don't like that psychologically for the Algeria.
Me I beat you, man. Me I beat you, man. Me I beat you, brother.
So
You never hire me as a coach, you know. Somebody believe in me, you know. Someone beat you
that's
for sure.
one thing.
Yo,
Well, people say
you know?
if USA ever play Canada, USA might dead because Jesse Marsh like feel like say yo, the man them look
Know the
past
US too much. Oh, them
him.
look past him.
Yeah,
Them look
because
past.
he wanted that job and they hired
Yeah.
Pochettino. So the man
that.
said, all right, I'm gonna go coach Canada. But anyway, segue. Switzerland to me just a little bit better overall as
Too
a
much.
team.
Yeah.
I just think them just a little bit better. Algeria
Yeah,
have them
man. Too
moments,
much.
and them have some good players and thing, and them have quality. But I think overall, Switzerland machine that them have just going to kind of overpower them a little bit. So I'm gonna say 3-1 Switzerland victory.
Me say 2-0. Swiss. Embolo, Endoy, Shaka and them, and they got too much for the Algerians.
All right. Last three of the round of 32. Remember the end of this working week, the Friday. That will be the last game at the first knockout stage. We jump right into the round of 16 on the July 4th. But let's just lock up this round now with the last three games. One that, most people going with one side. I think them kind of sleeping on the other side. But Grammy, tell me what you think about Australia versus Egypt.
Yeah, the Australian to me, the way them defend from game one, even though, them slip up here and there. But to me, the Egyptian them not have enough firepower for you understand for beat them with the organized defense and midfield. Cause if you can remember one at the time, I'm not sure if I watch along or the group with with that talk. I mean I say Gooner, you see how the Australians them line up? You see how them line up? Look on the back five. Look on the midfield. Look on the strike. You understand what I say when them are defend? So it's like if them go
Military style. Organized.
yeah, well organized. So if them go in at this a game here with that organization, I don't feel like say the Egyptian them have enough firepower. So even if them win 2-1 or 1-0. Australia.
Okay. 2-1, 1-0 Australia. All right. So Grammy going with Australia.
Even though my shutter, my little 18-year-old over there too.
Yeah, man,
You
Abdel
know?
Karim, man.
Yeah, Abdel
Coach ever
Karim.
bring
So
him on with 2 minutes.
yeah, but I just say going young, you have to go and wait, believe
One thing,
when the season start, you understand?
he can take telling because the man drape him up and attack him and him just there. All right, coach, all right.
Yeah, man, I say it for go, man. Yeah, so say we have a further, career or a good career ahead. You understand? Because them a take telling, so I be Australia them a beat them 2-1 or 1-0. The organization.
All
Not
right. So,
them not organize them dead. Mo Salah alone and the Marmoush them can't do too. You know?
I think this is one that I'm gonna go against the grain of most people. Similar to you, I think Australia might even be a little bit better at what they do than people think. But at the same time, I think that the way how Egypt kind of got through the group stage and got into this round, I just feel like them have a lot of momentum right now, Grammy. So I kind of got change my mind from what I've been thinking, you know, and actually say that I think Egypt going to win the game. I think it's going to be one of the fewer low-scoring games, though. So I'm going to say 1-1, extra time, Egypt win and penalties.
Yeah.
This are the first one I choose for go penalties, but I'm going to say Egypt and penalties. Australia going to score first, though. So it's a rough on them. Right now, going to be my boy. It's going to be, I'm going with a defender.
Yeah, man.
Talman. All right. This one, look, Cape Verde, brilliant. On the next round, come second in our group, 3 draw. I just not see them a whole out Argentina for the whole game, boss. Sorry.
Awesome. Argentina, hallelujah, man.
It's just they're a bit
Not because
gonna
Messi.
they're gonna be a little
Messi
more
can't even sit down.
surgical.
Messi can't even come on another game here to see him here. It's not like, you understand? Messi can't even come on
Yeah,
another game.
I think the plan for Scaloni will be, listen, guys, we have to take the opponent them serious. Let's try to basically take them spirit from them early. So them are gonna go in with at least a 2-0 halftime, maybe even 3 if them can get there. And as you say, you know, Messi can continue him like a rest and get what 25, 20 minutes the other day, 15, 20 minutes, and get a next 45 to 60 minutes this game. That would be ideal, and just make him build up towards the end where, you know, you're probably not gonna be able to take him off.
Well, I'm going to do more work at the
Right.
time, you understand?
So look, I think Scaloni, if more than likely, him going to go with the strongest team because it's a knockout game, and him will do him subs them early and often.
And to me, any opponent them facing at the round of 16, them have to go put him have to go really put on the Messi foot and the Messi. I really have to go be Messi.
Yeah, man. And
Argentina gone with this, man.
Yeah, I think Argentina take it home. I don't want to make it a huge score because I just feel like sometimes
they look for 4-0 or 1-5 in a bro. Swear, you know.
I kind of like the not 2. I kind of like
I like it too.
I like the 3. I like the 3. I like the 3. A lot of people doing it. It's kind of make me don't want to do it.
To me, after if all right, to me when Argentina play, when me see them do basically is a certain time in the game, you see if them all 2-0 up, them kinda play regular. Them not hunt again. Them not play, they play like, you know, them want it. Them just relax now. So a 3-0, yeah. 3-0, 4-0, son, all right. Be a double score, me I guess still, you know. Oh, go on.
17. All right, so last game of the round of 32, it's gonna be what's that? 9:30, Friday, July the 3rd, and that's gonna be Colombia and Ghana. And for me, Grammy, I don't know if you agree with this. I think the team that's playing the best of all the teams nobody now talk about is Colombia.
Yeah, man, I agree with you.
Colombia show this level of fighting spirit.
Colombia play like
this level of fitness, because Colombia, I think, is the fittest team up there with any other team in terms of just fitness alone. They have this ability to transition just as good as any transition team, because it really don't take them many passes. And because they have such good athletes, when they attack on the counter, it's not just a 2-man, 3-man thing, a 5, 6-man I make runs at once. So them have this type of quality about them that, you know, if Ghana come into this game with Kyrgios, which I think they'll do because that's his style of sitting behind the ball, it won't be like how it was against England, where it becomes predictable. Colombia is an unpredictable attacking team. The man them play short pass, long pass, no look pass, regular pass, back it. Like Colombia will try anything for get through your team. And I think against a low block, against a team that's trying to be super rigid, Colombia is one of the worst type of teams because they're so unpredictable. So you can't catch Colombia getting into any kind of pattern most of the time because they vary their attacks a lot. And I think that's going to help them and help to, pull Ghana into some situations where maybe England wasn't able to get them into when they played them. And I just think Colombia right now, on another day, they could have had like a really big statement win in the last group stage game. I think obviously we know about the call that, the 2-0 call where he was offside. We know that, some good saves were made by the goalkeeper on the day as well. We have to give the keeper credit. And I have to eat some crow about that, because one of the things I was saying why Portugal might not win the World Cup is because I don't know how much I trust the keepers that them have, or the keeper that was going to play. And he played really well in that game. So let's see if he can keep that up. But on Colombia, Ghana, I would say Ghana have some things that can hurt you. But I just feel like Colombia has the right set of defenders to deal with what Ghana going to bring. I don't think pace and power going to really scare Colombia, whereas Ghana might have some fear in other teams based on who them have in attack. I think Colombia is kind of ready for that. Them kind of built for that, playing against South American teams all the time. So I just think it's not the best matchup for Ghana in a lot of ways, because them have a team that's very technical in Colombia, have the physicality to match them, the fitness levels, them not predictable. So I just think it's not a good matchup for Ghana. So I think Colombia are going to get through this one. Mama Africa, love you know, but I have to go with Colombia on this one. I think they're a dark horse. I think I'm going to go further than a lot of people think I'm going to go. And I think their journey starts in this knockout phase here with a win. So I'm going to say Colombia win this game 2-0.
Yeah, even with the low block, how Ghana play, with the low block same way, and soak up the pressure, and then probably try to hit you on the counter, use whatever firepower them have. When otherwise from the Colombians them play so different as what you say. Them can hit you with anything at any moment, anytime. So, and when them attack in transition, them attack, as I say, in packs like a wolf. So them can do anything for beat you or anything for, score. And then when you are trying to look back a goal now, it open up the game so much wherein them can do anything again. Wherein the way how them play. Fast, slow, short, long, and beat you. So Colombia, yeah, as I say, sorry Mama Africa, but Colombia even though Ghana no play up to the Ghana we feel like say, we not seen a game yet. We would say, okay, this is the Ghana. Hopefully if them can step out. But sorry, Mama Africa.
Yeah, I feel to apologize. But Africa had a lot of teams through, and if my predictions happen, then boy, let me see how many Africans gonna left to rot it. Feel like I have like about 7 of them are losing.
One Ghana already. Yeah, you have enough of them to lose, but
Or 6 of them.
them have to just feel,
Senegal, I went with Senegal and Ivory Coast, but I think all the other ones, I think I went against them, bro.
Yeah.
But hey, somebody have to win and somebody have to lose,
Lose.
So
It's around 32, go ahead, go home.
But anyway, people, I think the marathon show done, 3 hours on the board. We got through all of the round of 32 games. Big up to Mas, just participating the whole night through, keeping the comments flowing. We greatly appreciate that, my G. Jagans, big up yourself. And if you want, in the comment section, guys, underneath the video, Just it's 15 more games to pick. Just write the 15 team name them down. I can just document anybody who wasn't a part of the show for no one getting a fix. Just do
Colombia
that.
win.
CC, you wake up.
Colombia win.
All right, listen. May I done off the show? Just quick fire. Zine. Portugal, Croatia.
Portugal.
Spain, Austria.
Spain.
Argentina, Cape Verde.
Argentina.
Australia, Egypt.
Egypt.
Switzerland, Algeria.
Algeria.
Colombia, Ghana.
Colombia.
All right, I hate that. All right, people. Another one in the books. World Cup Nightly. You don't know. It was my pleasure to bring this show to you guys. Had a great panel tonight. Big up to JD for passing through. Always dropping some knowledge on the football. Big up to CC Sports Lab as well, doing the same. And big up to Graham if you're doing the same. You don't know, this panel is... You see, people, we're not a monolith over here. Everybody had different picks. Everybody have different thoughts. And everybody get to share them thoughts. That's how we deal with things around here. All right, people? So, big up on yourselves. Thanks for tuning in. I'll get some rest. I know, long day tomorrow. But the best thing about tomorrow, the days have 3 games again. So we're back in action. I'll be back tomorrow night. This jersey will be on. And trust me, tomorrow, if I don't analyze the game as well as I should, I apologize from now. Gigs, nobody vex with me. I am a fan of the team that we're going to watch. So trust me, it's going to be entertaining because I'll be cheering as well. All right? So people, tomorrow we're back live, Netherlands, Morocco. Definitely the first 2 games I will be watching. So we will be having breakdowns of all the games just the same. All right, people. So big up on yourselves. Thanks for tuning in. Again, respect to CC, Grimy, and JD for tuning in. Respect to all those in the comment section. And respect to those that like the video, share the video, and subscribe tonight to the channel. All right, big up. I'm JGTV. This is JGTV. Until next time, blessings.